Sure, sounds good.
Okay, I think that's enough.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's some of the mechanoids' gear. Oh, they're scary, scary crap.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I didn't want.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah. Oh, and then you get into the diggers.
It sounds good. Okay. The board railgun as one of his arms.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some crazy shit in mechanoids, man. You want to see? Just gonna try and find it in here. Adventures.
All good. I'm skinny enough. I can get by. I can think skinny glass.
If only.
Is this the- yeah.
And if worse comes worse, I can pick you up and move you.
Digger. 180,000 NDC.
Terrifying.
But even scarier than that,
Which one?
this thing. This is the size of like a mobile city, and it houses one alien creature,
Was that
which is the size of a big city.
is that not a living creature?
Yes, that's the digger that lives inside of this.
Oh, you wanted to do this
But-
before.
But here's the funny thing. This right here, if you can get underneath of it,
Mhm.
and even do say about 200 NDC's worth of damage to the hydrogen fuel cell generator, the damage. There is the damage on this.
I hope nobody's texting me through this process, only because my phone is operating that camera. Hi everyone. If you're texting me, I can't see your text because my camera's acting as the other phone. The other.
Your phone is
my
acting
phone
as
is
the
acting
other
as the other camera. Thanks. So yeah. Anyway, welcome. We're going to be playing Tripping the Rifts here. Well, Palladium Rifts on Tripping the Rifts any second now.
So here's where it gets real trippy. Just shooting a laser out of this thing's front cannon,
It's solid.
1d6 times 1,000. If you blow this up, it's 3d6 times 10,000 damage to everything within about a mile.
That's crazy. It just vaporizes everything.
Yeah, well, it's essentially their big ultra heavy artillery and shock troop, and if you manage to kill one, it manages to take out everything within whatever radius, because screw it, if something of ours is going to die, so is everything of yours.
Well, did you
if I'm going down, taking everything you know with me.
Yeah.
Did you hear from me?
Yeah, he's going to be a little bit late tonight.
Yeah, tonight's audio, by the way, is Tabletop Audio, tabletopaudio.com. Thank you very much for that. Gotta give a little mention there. Yeah,
Well, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, did you guys end up watching any of the last episode or two from Cryolis?
No, I didn't. How was it?
There's some moments there for sure.
Good.
Yeah, it's good.
I love the art on that one. I like that swamp beast thing.
I have no idea what that is.
That's...
Looks risky.
You know what? Everything can look, officially, everything can look...
That was very
good.
techno wizard, that one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when, you know what, there's even there's a book, I don't remember which one, but there's one of the books that actually gets into techno wizard power armor.
I was in the vampire book.
Yeah.
There was like 5 or 6 different ones. I was like, if he had power armor combat, we could stick him in one of those. That'd be terrifying. It'd be fun, but terrifying.
Oh yeah, well I mean his character, that would be the one type of power armor his character could use, and that would be like Kelly's. That would be nasty. And then Aiden's character's a minor psychic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So technically he could even repower techno wizard stuff. I think he'd have to learn he'd have to learn how to work it,
Yeah,
but still.
technically so am I.
Yeah, you could do. Ooh. Yeah, but how much would a techno wizard charge for power armor?
Yes.
Like, I mean, you think it's expensive to buy a glitter toy? I mean, techno wizard stuff.
It's a creature.
I can only imagine what they would charge.
That one, that Vamp Killer 3000 we're looking at, 700 grand.
And that's just for a it's a heavy weapons unit, isn't it?
It's a chainsaw.
Yeah.
That's been imbued by a techno wizard, powered by techno wizard power.
But doesn't it also have like water gun and everything built onto it? Like it's
It has a grenade launcher.
That's it. The water grenade launcher.
But it's still terrifying. It's almost $1 million or almost 800 grand for a chainsaw
Well, because they got
that shoots water pistol ammo out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're. Yeah.
Just like everybody asking for pop.
Of course he is.
Mom and Dad are playing a game. We're playing games, so I can have a pop. No.
Yeah.
I know I used to drink a ton of pop when I was a kid, but now it's only when I'm drinking.
We got a what's it called?
Soda Stream?
Yes, thank you. So yeah, he wants it all the time.
Of course.
You know, all those two.
Yeah, you can have some nice tea. We're still a little early on schedule. Freaking deadly, man. Oh. I hate those.
It's okay. That's her. She's asking. Glad at least one is stable.
Hmm?
I'm glad at least one is stable.
Mm-hmm.
One what? Child?
Stable segment.
But the other one works too.
I have a 3-year-old. I know she's crazy. She cries when she's not allowed to subsist specifically cheese. No, you have to have something else, and she cries.
My 13-year-old does it with bread. I mean,
She does it with bread now too, especially now that mommy actually makes homemade bread now. The NGR glitter boy.
Is that the one with the laser instead of a boom gun?
Yes. Well, actually, it's the boom / railgun.
Yeah.
It looks like a goofy face.
The glitter boy's worse. Glitter boy looks like it has tusks and horns. That
I mean,
have
that's
been lopped
probably
off.
the eyes there and then the guns or something, right?
Well, the little slit there. Because NGR always has the same kind of setup for the
Wow.
helmet. Those are actually lights.
Lights, that makes sense.
So what's the scariest glitter boy? The fat boy.
Is that the one that has the twin boom guns?
Twin boom guns on one side, and 24 canister mini missile launcher on the other. Because what glitter boy doesn't need mini missiles? I'm sorry, 3d6 times 100 or 3d6 times 10 damage isn't enough this turn. Let's throw a volley of 24 missiles.
Because that's the scary part about mini missiles. If you want to, you can launch all of them. If it has capacity, you can throw all of them at something once. When you really must kill it this round.
Yeah, I mean, like a Death's Head transport.
Yeah, if you get the jump on it, you throw everything you have at it the first turn. Anything and everything, it will kill you the next round. It's one of those things you got to be ready. If you're willing to pick a fight, make sure you make that first shot at doozies. You might not get a second one.
I mean, legitimately, you target its missile bays. And if you can take those out,
If you can take the hover systems out and cause it to crash,
everyone inside's pretty much dead.
there's a good chance. The pilot himself might survive because it's reinforced pilot's compartment, not reinforced crew compartment.
And see, and that's the thing. Even a reinforced pilot's compartment,
They still
he's still
take
going to be
damage. Oh yeah, they still take damage, just not as much.
But if he's going Mach 7, there's no surviving that. You're liquefied.
Yeah, there's a good chance of that. But if it's going Mach 7, the only thing you could hit it with would be railguns or lasers. So
if he's
any
going if he's going Mach 7 towards you,
that's true. You can throw missiles at it,
mm-hmm.
but it could also decide not to stop. And even if it loses control, just go ballistic and aim directly for you. And yeah, you're not going to survive that one either.
I mean, it's bad enough or it's hard enough dodging bullets. Mach 7, yeah, you're going to feel that.
If anybody's snackish, there's
Oh, man.
no,
Oh,
there
weakness!
was, like there wasn't enough shit to eat. There's one's ham, bacon, and pineapple. The other one's loaded pepperoni, bacon, mushrooms, green pepper.
Oh my gosh.
Alrighty.
I can't wait to see how sensitive this mic is. See if we can still let those little squeakers slip without the audience knowing. Look at the camera all.
Here's someone in the washroom.
Yeah.
Maybe let's turn down the gain a little bit.
You can go back, listen to the playback, all you hear is
Kadoosh. Kadoosh. No, seriously,
terrible.
seriously, guys, I was just dropping the Cosby kids off at the pool.
Just like, why now? Why? All the things that can possibly come out of a bathroom pickup. Next gen bathroom pickup, by the way. Be pretty funny. I'd laugh. Well, like, because I know that there was no way that I would be bending one out in the downstairs bathroom 10 feet away. Like, nope.
From that sensitive of a mic.
Yeah.
Just hope it just can't hear through the floor.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I was just gonna say that.
How are we coming in there, I wonder? Really good. It's like solid green. That is amazing. Probably the best quality we've had. Audio seems to be picking up good.
Well, it's consistent too. Like even just a
It's not all stuttered.
yeah. Well, and I don't have ones where it's like just nice low green and then all the way into the red immediately. It's actually a pretty clean signal the whole time.
Yeah. And I did it so you can laugh, ha, and it won't jump up into the red.
Oh, actually, it actually adjusted. That's nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Fingers crossed. I think these things didn't work for me. And I think I'll look back at these 10 years later and be like, oh, man, I remember playing that session. Oh, fuck that game.
It's riffs. Yes, it's fucked up. We all know this.
There's a question. Are these people on mushrooms? What the fuck are you talking about? He went up some creature's ass, blowing its face off from inside? Yes, I am. Which was that big.
It ate me. Doesn't mean the fight's over.
Yeah. Is this one of those shit's going?
They will after this one.
Yeah.
In our home in my campaign at home,
The Dark Sunlight.
in the Dark Sunlight, Kelly's character was a psilonicist, and he created a devotion called Shitstorm.
Basically make somebody shit themselves. Like how debilitating in combat, right? I mean, you're like, "Rah," on your horse, ready to lead your own else. Just like wrap yourself right there on the battlefield.
How demoralizing would that be?
Oh, just totally. Even the guys beside you, like while you're up on horseback, and just hearing that shit.
The
hit
poor
them.
horse.
Depends on the diet. It could be running down the horse's leg.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it was like that. It would literally make your insides go to liquid and just like flash, like empty out an entire intestinal tract in one fell mental swoop.
oh,
Yep.
That's glorious.
That's not a thought I want to have, but that's okay.
You can't unhear that shit.
There's lots of things I can't hear anymore.
Yeah.
That's what whiskey's for.
Yeah, that's right.
where'd you get these from, Kelly?
Sorry, what's that? The pizza?
Mhm.
Homemade. The crusts are from Cobb's Bakery, though.
I must say, if it was you or if it was Carolyn,
Carolyn, yeah. Makes a hauling ass pizza. But yeah, those Cobb's crusts are fucking amazing, man. I'm like mind blown. And they actually freeze good. Like you can pull them out and they're like just as good as they were the day they were fresh.
so good.
Yeah, I've gotten them a few times. Oh, it's so good.
It's surprising. And like it's the first time I've ever had a crust that was made by like a bakery or anywhere else where I was like, man, this is a bitchin' piece of crust. Everywhere else is just like, meh, this is pizza, I guess.
I've yet to have something out of Cobb's that I was less than impressed with.
Wow, that's awesome. We only just started going there.
It's spendy, but worth it every time.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. We pay for the crust because Carolyn always picks them up. I don't think they're too bad. You just gotta get there before noon or they're all
That is the other problem. They only make so much and it ends up disappearing pretty fast.
and their commercials are annoying. That one where the lady buys a cinnamon bun and then eats it right in front of the clerk like 2 feet away. I'm like, what the fuck are you smiling at, lady? You just eat that fucking thing right in front of that clerk? Come on, lady, how
What's
rude
that
is
for?
that? You don't just buy some shit in a bakery like that and eat it in front of the clerk.
What's that for?
Cobb's
Oh.
Never actually seen any of their.
commercials? Oh. Well,
Um,
now you will. You'll probably focus
Probably.
relentlessly on that particular point. For no reason, you're like, I don't know why this pisses me off. I know science work for me. If I remember correctly, we just made it back to base and managed to get everything sort of organized.
You guys are pretty much headed on the way, and it was. You guys were making the trek back, so you guys got him. You were figuring out what to do with him, just stuff him in the back, and then you guys were going to begin making your trek.
Back?
back to
Yes, we literally just finished dealing with the Samus units and shit, right?
ripping the head off of the one with main body that was annihilated, and then I think trying to peel the semi-liquefied remains of the other guy out of his.
Semi-liquefied, that's a picture. Look, guys, you can practically pour this guy out of his armor.
So, on that note, you guys are there and you stuffed the. I think you guys just, for brevity and speed sake, you guys just tossed in, or you tossed the Samas, the headless Samas, with a bit of minor damage on it, into the back of the, not the Mountaineer,
The APC.
the APC. And then you also grab the helmet off of the other one, basically just kind of sever.
Literally just grabbed useful parts and fucked right off.
Made at least a semi-complete one.
And any extra ammo?
We destroyed the ammo box of the other one.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yes.
Yeah, so we couldn't shoot. Someone used a sword, or was it Aiden calling shot? I know it was Aiden
I
calling
think it was
shot,
Aiden calling a shot.
which landed really well. And I forgot they've got just 2 rockets. Each one has too many missiles. Forgot to deliver those, but their big thing is always the railguns, just for mobility's sake. Although the mini missiles come in handy in heavy group. But
Did you just eat pizza and then follow it up with a London Halls?
no honey, because my throat's getting kind of.
I was like, I'm just trying to, I almost gagged trying
Fat-
to picture
fat-
what that was.
At least it wasn't the Buckley's ones.
Oh, wow. I have not tried the Buckley's.
They taste as good as the syrup.
Better, because if you get the
Last
cherry one,
Oh, yeah.
if you get the cherry one, it actually tastes good for the first 15 minutes.
And
And
he has
then-
no taste buds.
And the after, yeah.
And then after that 15 minutes, you get to the middle. And it's like,
I don't even find it taste good even to start.
no, the cherry ones
No.
were. It was the basic ones. The basic ones.
That's from
Yeah,
the
it
ghost pepper
slows you.
munch you were trying to do it, yeah.
Pretty much. I tasted Buckley's all the way through.
Well, no, but that's if you have, because they've got the cherry and the
Yeah,
Buckleys.
I know, that's what I'm talking about.
And the cherry ones tastes like cherry. It's okay.
Yeah.
But when you hit the Buckleys in the middle, it's like a shock. You've gone from this sweet flavor to
Something cracked in your
Buckley's.
mouth. Yeah.
Buckley's pine and eucalyptus.
Oh.
And oh god, it's just bad.
It's like, I don't know whether I just swallowed Beefeater gin or.
I think I'd rather have Beefeater gin.
Sorry, Beefeater gin, if you're watching. I'm sure you're not.
Let this be inspiration to you to not taste like shit.
Yeah. I don't think that's anything they strive for.
No, they just want you to get drunk.
Pretty much.
Beefeater's a pretty rugged drunk. Or so I've heard. Can't remember much of it really, but
Very good. Alright, so
by extension from Carolina.
Tell her it was me. Really good.
Right there.
so you guys are sitting. You toss the complete corpse of a SAMAS unit and a pilot into the back of the unit. The glitter boy jumped into the back of the unit. And you guys are.
Peeling it back to base.
We're going back to it. We're going back
Who's
to
driving?
that,
Who's piloting the unit to get it out of here?
Not me.
Because this thing is
The only
5 miles
qualified
deep into
person?
the bush.
I mean, unless we're saying that Aiden's character.
Well, the other qualified person right now is also in
The jetpack.
the jetpack. So I mean, If you want, he can jump on the jetpack. But that means you guys are leaving the not the tarantula,
The chopper.
the chopper back.
Chopper we could probably just put inside.
So with the Sam ass, with the glitter boy,
Actually, that's a big gun. That's a big bike.
that's a big bike.
But we didn't bring the bike in. Not into the bush.
Not into the bush.
No, it's on the road. So until I can get this thing back on the road, because it's currently off road.
Let's
You'll
put it
drive
back.
it to the road.
Yeah, and then we'll swap.
I'll let you knock one piloting roll for if you're trying to go like stupid fast. I'll let you knock one piloting roll every 2 miles, which is pretty generous.
And how far are we in?
5.
About 5.
All right. Juicer mode. Let's go. 53. I think that's actually a pass.
That will be.
It's a little high, but I think it's still a pass.
It's an uncomfortable pass, but it's a pass.
I had one of those this morning.
Yes. It's a 68.
No,
Oh, yeah,
And
it's
you
actually-
sound it's like
Absolutely.
comfortable-ish.
Too much information.
Just supposed to fist bump me, brah. Just
Fist what?
yeah.
Oh
Right.
no!
Bet you the Mike will pick that up too.
Guaranteed.
All right, next one. Nope. 90.
Oh. Okay.
Glad these aren't NBC rocks.
From miles away, I just hear this shit.
Well, but you see, the problem is you have an MDC object inside that that just slammed against the inside.
You better
That's,
be strapped in a little bit.
The Sam ass is light enough that, I mean, even tossing that thing around, it's not a big deal. But that glitter boy, I'm gonna say there's a 35% chance that he smashes into the refrigerator or one of the units inside there that's keeping some stuff nice and useful. Oh, looks like he slammed into the reefer unit. Let's see how much damage he does to it. It's not going to be designed for MDC, but 7. 2d4 and I rolled 3 and a 4. He smashes into it. It doesn't even really scratch up him much.
That thing's not coming back.
It looks like a crushed can now, I'm sure.
Yeah, oh yeah. You're talking 2.5 tons of big chrome alloy thing that just kind of what the hell's going on there?
This is off-road.
The juicer's driving.
I'm just gonna try and decide what happens. Did you guys tip it, fumble, and roll, or did you just hit a tree, kind of cause him to move forward?
If we roll, I'm putting freaking training wheels on this thing back at base.
Oh.
Hell.
Nope. I'm gonna do this
Really
different.
wide training
Let's
wheels.
just
Can
see.
we just get a winch put on it?
We're having a chance.
Like a side winch, dude.
One on top.
Throw a perception check for me, just to see if you could recognize that something was happening before it happened. What'd you
That's
get?
a 12.
You know, I mean, I'm gonna say you're like, oh, hang on, hold on tight, guys. And then as soon as he felt the,
We fell off the trail.
oh no, the damage wasn't necessarily done to the reefer unit. When he heard, we might be going over, guys, he drove the pylons down.
I'm gonna beat his ass. I will wrench him out of that thing. I will beat the ever-living snot out of
Straight
him.
through the floor of the APC.
And
No.
he did not damage anything mechanical on the unit. But that 2d4 damage, that 7 points of MDC, was where his pylons drove right into the hull of the ship, or into the hull of the APC.
I'll go intangible and I'll like get in his face like, why did you just do that to our APC?
What are you talking about? The juicer's about to get out of the pallet so you can beat the faceplate off that thing.
What does he react? Does he react to like a
Oh, you wouldn't. His
It's
HUD
like-
and everything is going to be like here.
What?
Yeah.
His HUD,
Yeah.
heads up display, and his
But I
whole
can
helmet.
like go right up to nose kind of thing, can't I?
Yeah, but your nose would be here, and his nose would be
okay, never
here.
mind then.
Yeah, he's covered about an inch around his entire head.
Alright.
Yeah.
I was hoping to make him shit his pants.
Oh, just potentially seeing you kind of get real in close and personal. So his mass was stable. You guys basically ran into I'm going to say you guys ran into a tree and you hung her up on the one side.
Mm-hmm.
So currently, this thing is just hung up on a tree that you guys kind of heaved it up half up on right now, and the pylons extended just down through the hull, and they retracted when it was all said and done. So you got a couple of tiny holes punched in there. Someone's going to have to deal with those.
Alright, not very happy, is she?
Frey's going to be happy. She's probably going to get about $4,000 worth of work out of this.
That is true, yes. Let's see.
I'm tempted to do the whole Pirates of the Caribbean thing. Stop blowing holes in my ship!
Oh, yeah.
There's Pirates of the Caribbean. He's clearly in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You weren't here to drive, so the juicer tried. And
Again?
Just roll.
He did good. I'm going to say
I made it a few miles.
you made it 3 miles before you hung up.
Which off-road is not bad.
But you guys did hang up off-road, and you guys have 2 really fancy new diamond and laser drilled holes in the bottom of the APC.
Is that also his fault?
Nope. I'm not responsible.
It's only partly.
Angle time interesting. Clever lighting is clear. Well, done off to bed. Awesome, buddy. Have a good night.
So how many people do we have in chat? Or
There's
watching?
3 people.
Nice. So 2 bots in person.
I find that I don't see any.
Nice. So we actually have people watching. Nice.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to this travesty that we call. I don't know, what do we call this?
Fucked up.
Sure.
That's about all we can legitimately say right
A
now.
bunch of people
At
that
this
shouldn't
point,
be
yeah.
roommates, let alone carrying high-powered weaponry and driving across country.
I'm qualified for one of those.
The roommate part, maybe.
No, the high-powered weaponry.
There we go.
I'm a juicer, not fit for anyone to live with.
So, you guys are hung up. The glitter boy is kind of standing perfectly still in the unit.
Of course,
It's
he's all
tilted.
stabilized. Yeah.
His jets didn't need to stabilize, so that's okay. Nothing got torched in the process. So,
I like that you opted for the high acoustic quality of the tray. You're like, do you have anything several decibels louder?
Part of this is why I want to get metal dice.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's going to know what I want.
From across the convention, people are like, oh, fucker, I hate that guy.
do you want to give these 7 a try? See how they sound?
Unfortunately, though, they probably dented it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'd
they're
be
heavy.
like battle scars, though.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing is when I'm playing on
Awesome.
thanks on Roll20 just over the mic, and on the few times I've had the opportunity to DM, and I want to keep it secret from the players that is rolling this thing, and they can still clearly tell that I'm rolling something, that I just don't know what.
Adds that suspense factor.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. As a GM, you sitting and rolling dice every once in a while is just kind of the thing you do.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it interesting.
Especially when they get lippy, you're just like, And lay down, just roll something.
All right, everybody make a perception check.
Yeah.
You always gotta make them do the perception check.
That's right.
Everybody roll a perception check.
You sound like perception check mouthy right now.
It's like in football, we used to call it a lookout block for a quarterback. What a lookout block is, it's a very important thing to keep a quarterback in check so he stops being an asshole to his offensive lineman. If he's getting a little too brazen in the off games and whatever, I'm so much better than you guys, I could do this without anyone else here.
Right. Which happens with a lot of quarterbacks.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what you do is,
They let someone like me through who was offensive or defensive line, let a 240-pound guy through and just
Drive him into the ground.
the important thing about the lookout block is you hit him once and then you step aside. Look out!
yeah.
Is he just like,
Yeah. What is that? You could do this without any. We do. Oh, okay. As long as we know we help.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got that through once or twice.
I brought some actors if anybody wants any.
Nice.
So I know when I played, I
Fiji mix.
was not the biggest guy there, but I was one of the fastest big guys because I was still on special teams for like punt return and kickoff,
Mhm.
and I was usually the first guy at the end of the field,
Oh, well.
and I was probably about 230, 220 at the time.
Crazy.
That was about the same as me. When I played. I was offensive line. I was small for the offensive line, but for some reason, they put me on there, and I did well enough. And then they put me on special teams because usually I would be just after our two guys on the wings
Like
for
short bus
containment. Yes, short bus teams.
Yeah.
But if you find a lane, you make it through all the guys that are trying to block you,
Mhm.
and then you just get a straight-on run. And I can't count how many times I got a no-yards penalty. And it was like a 10 yards, no yards, because the guy's just catching the ball, and you just freight train.
Yeah.
Drive the shoulder right into the stomach, grab behind the knees, lift up, and then drive your shoulder back down.
Yeah.
Not a fun get up after you've had one of those.
No.
Yeah, most of the time, whenever the guy was catching, I was only like 10 feet away. By the time he'd be down, catch, and then as soon as he looked down, I'd gone from 10 feet to
boom.
3 feet, and he's like, nowhere to go.
Yeah, I had a number of no yards, but the coaches like that a lot more than them running back for 15 to 20.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll give him 10 yards on the no yards penalty. He takes a solid hit, and he doesn't get a touchdown or anything stupid off of it.
Touchback.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you can freight train them before you can get any momentum going, because those receivers, their benefit is their mobility. Because yeah, they're a lot more mobile than the rest of us in heavier
Can
gear.
hit like a hammer still.
They can, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've
They
seen
can, I've seen some of them take some hard hits and just shrug them off and keep going.
I've seen some cornerbacks who were, man. I'm just trying to think like Ryan.
Oh, I was like,
Gasky
who
was
were men?
tiny.
I was like, seems appropriate.
So
He's not much taller, or he's a little bit
Ryan
taller
was
than you.
fairly short, but he was like 160 pounds, and he was like, what, like 5'1", 5'2"?
Ooh.
He wasn't shorter than me, was he?
Yeah,
Was he?
Gasky, Yak and Spew.
Yeah,
But he was quick. And
Great
I-
eyes watching. Hey!
But the thing is, and no matter what, he was always the low man. Because in football, the low man wins. Whoever can get their center of gravity below the other guys, he wins.
Right.
So at 160 some pounds and 5'2", and he was solid.
Right.
It's just like a little bulldog just goes and takes a guy down. And
Takes
those
his
are,
legs out from under.
All he's got to do is just kind of bend down a little bit, and he can get him right across the midsection.
oh yeah, well,
Yeah,
and
just
that
fold
was
it
the
a
thing.
full shoulder.
Well, and just fold him in half.
Just hit the right or left hip. Done. Then you'll spin a guy with his hips.
How the fuck we get on this subject anyway?
I don't know. Somehow.
Yeah. Hey, look, a
Either
squirrel.
Basically.
So
That's how that works.
Yeah.
pretty much.
So getting this thing off of this tree stump.
So
We have a chainsaw.
You certainly do.
If I can get some support in here, I can try and get out and give you a hand.
Support.
What kind of
'Cause
support?
This thing's...
Hands of
Well,
a
we'll
jock
say she's
strap.
sitting about 35, 40 degrees. He's like, if I let these pylons go, I'm falling over.
Then fall over. What else are you gonna hurt?
Well, he didn't do damage to the fridge. He just...
I'm gonna open the rear door and I'm gonna drop kick him out.
So you open the back door. He's hefty. Go for it. Roll to drop. Roll to attack.
Well, how heavy do you figure he is?
Well, it's a glitter
He's got to
boy.
be pretty fucking heavy.
I need a.
Let's see if I get a few more people tuning in here.
Oh, nice, wizard. Sweet. How many we have?
I'm just sharing in a few Discord groups that I'm in to see if anybody wants to check out.
So he's about 3,200 pounds.
Wow.
Even before your house rule, I can still lift
It's a
him.
big truck.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but I rolled a 17 to attack and I just drop kick him.
See you drop kick him.
Drop kick him out of the APC.
All right.
Do those pylons break?
Well, as
No,
soon
he
as
pulled
he
him
sees,
in.
as soon as he sees the pylon, or as soon as he sees you coming towards him, he retracts the pylons. You can see him beginning to fall over. Go ahead and roll damage on the suit. Thankfully, you're wearing NBC armor.
That's
You've got a
for the
little bit of
NBC,
NBC
asshole.
armor left on the legs, right?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I thought you had some NBC armor left on the legs. Or are you using the
I'm
field?
using the field.
Okay.
So
Drop kick is
Drop
always
kick.
double damage. So it's essentially, I think it's the same as a power punch.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He do
Roll
7,
the
you do
whole-
14. Is that how this is rolling out?
He did
no,
7. He's going to do between 10 and 40.
Oh wow!
30.
Holy shit, buddy. Take it easy.
You said you needed out. I wanted you out.
You said you needed out. I wanted you out. There's two different directions, but you're going with it. Yeah. It's like I get it out. I get it.
All right. So I'll make a piloting roll for him, see if he can manage to keep on his feet.
Probably not.
No, he gets knocked back on ass.
There you go.
He gets himself back up. The bots, I mean, it's a glitter boy. It was tough, but she took a long range missile before. You can see that the drop kick, it managed to do some serious damage to him.
Left some impression.
Yeah. You're beginning to see residual. He kind of clambers and gets himself back up.
Maybe let's keep an eye on radar and leave him out of the APC until at least we're back on the road.
You'll have to shovel him back in the event there's a blip, eh?
If anything comes, because we want to make sure he's inside.
Yeah, 'cause
He's going to light up like a Christmas tree.
For sure.
For anything.
So,
Even just visual. And on radar, he's really bad.
yeah.
Shall we say that just due to the sensitive nature of our current arrangement that Creed's just been kind of
Yeah,
flying
you're up.
overhead?
Sure.
Not
You're
a
up
bad
and,
choice.
up and about, but
Until we get it all leveraged off and then we
If
get
we
him to
can-
drive.
I know it's going to be tough with all the moving, but I'll keep
Yeah.
an eye on the sensor. If there's
Okay. Go ahead and roll a sensory equipment.
Or you're manning radar.
2.
Oh yeah.
Or in this case, manning radar.
You don't really see anything at the
Operating.
moment,
Operate.
but
Because technically it could have been like.
and you run it across a couple of different bands. You take the short, you take the medium.
That's the first that's restrained that I'm going to get.
So she continues staying on the equipment
Okay.
while you guys are doing this.
Okay.
He looks at us. Oh, that should be an easy one to get us off of. Just hung up on a tree.
yeah, I grabbed it. I go dig the chainsaw out.
He looks at it. He puts the targeting device of the boom gun, and he starts just hacking up the tree with the targeting device.
What? His little laser?
Yeah, 1d4 MD on that thing just to target something with the cannon.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Ultra powerful
That's
laser.
a lot. I thought it was just a marker light, not a.
No, it's a full on, like, it's a marker light that does damage.
That's hilarious.
You need one of those.
It's like one of
how many
those
times
like
you've gotten
laser
hung up?
pointers that you can shoot down drones with.
Yeah, this thing would definitely shoot down drones.
That's impressive. I
Oh
like
yeah. Just a basic 1d4, but I mean it's not a lot, but it's still like
It's
It's
MDC.
enough
shit,
to
that's
impact the
MDC damage.
Yeah,
it. Yeah, NBC laser.
that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, go through a house.
So he just begins basically targeting the log, dices it up to pieces. You guys see the machine coming down. And APC kind of comes back down, drops onto the ground. You guys should be able to move her, no problem. It took about half an hour just to cut up enough of this log that you could get her back down.
Okay. We'll unload him back up. We're gonna keep him out of the APC and travel with like that.
Well, let's bring Creed back down, and he's a little better at driving than the Juicer is, and a little more restrained. and then I'll just run up to the road and just get on the motorbike.
Okay. Alright. So you run up to the road pretty quick. You get there fast, you get to the bike. Are you going to take off ahead of them, or are you going to wait?
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna actually carry on back up towards where the attack site was, because that's probably, if anyone's coming in, that's probably the first place they're gonna check. And I'd rather them find me than find anyone else right now.
Okay, no problem. Alright, so go ahead and make your roll.
The camera angle's different, right?
It's not bad, actually.
The
It works.
The bird's eye view.
Is that it up there?
Alright, so go ahead, Aiden.
Oh.
Alright, make your
I like
piloting roll.
I'm surprised it's got two camera
Just
feeds
made it
rolling.
50.
It's stable.
Actually, your piloting's better. 50.
No, it's 57.
Oh, 57.
Mhm.
I was going to say.
I rolled a 50.
Okay, so you
Mine
made
is
it.
68.
You managed to make it back in pretty solid order. You guys get back to the road. I'm sure you guys radio or whatever. All the while you've been watching the radar. Alright, so kicking back between short and medium, short and medium.
While I'm sitting waiting for them to get back on the road, I'm gonna pull up the communications device that I have. I've got the medium range one, and then just start going through the channels, see if anyone's chatting in the area.
Alright.
See if there's someone that can see us, but we can't see them.
Are there any bowls around here?
I rolled a 37 and a 47. So I should be able to monitor something.
Going through and searching, you managed to overhear, what is it? Oh no, you guys faked out SA-64 and SA-65's last radio call, didn't you?
Yes,
We did.
Junk food.
So,
Yeah.
no, you're good. Call sign DH6503. SA-64, SA-65. Can you give a set rep? One of you has gone offline. Just want to know what's happening. Please confirm. I realize your last check-in came through clear, but need
That's
confirmation.
the SAMAS guys.
Okay, I pipe up on. I claimed I was 67 last time.
Either SA-64 or 65.
65. 65
65
is talking. 65 is one.
65 did most of the talking, as far as I can recall.
And I did. And I
You
said I
faked
was
out as
64. Okay. USA 64 here. USA 65 went to inspect a cave in the area. He may have lost contact. Oh, I gotta roll.
Oh yeah, you got to roll your trust intimidate. No, that's the one thing you can't.
I think I'm very trusting. I rolled a 5.
Fair enough. Please check in as soon as he's done. As soon as he gets back into communication zone.
Can do.
That's awesome.
All right. Noticing a blip on an extra blip on the radar. It is non SAMAS unit radar signature around your location.
Glitter boy
Probably just a broke down ABC again.
We have had a little bit of traffic in the area. Vehicles with some issues. We're having them vacate the area as soon as possible. We're in radio communications with a couple of them right now.
Fair enough. Make sure to take their call sign down and make sure to log everything appropriately.
Can do. You'll have a report by the end of the day.
All right.
Just to the end of the day to get out of there.
DH6503 out.
Yeah.
You're like, bye!
Fuck y'all. I ain't playing this game with you sons of bitches.
You just say, wait, what the fuck? That's why I'm attempting to not celebrate because
This can turn so
snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. You can always win harder. You can always fail harder.
Yeah. All right. So, you guys managed to kind of stave that off. You guys get back to the road and get back to booting back down to Neo.
Yep.
And the remainder of the trip is actually fairly quiet.
Nice.
You do hear back. Oh no, sorry, you put the radio away and drove back down with them, didn't you?
As soon as they're back on the road and starting to head back towards town, I'll just kind of sit there for a few more minutes while they get well on the way back to town, and then as soon as they're, I don't know, maybe 2 miles down the road, I just shut all of my radio gear off, so we just drive back.
Okay. All right, so you guys booted off down the road. All right, you guys make it back to Frey's shop, and it's getting close to it's actually getting dark. It's pretty much midnight by now. You guys enter the code in to get into the compound. You guys
So
get
we
into
need
the
a
compound.
couple of spike holes plugged.
Yeah, by the sounds of it. Our
You just say
APs
you want me to plug your spike hole? Fuck you, man.
No, it's his spike hole.
Yeah.
The ABC is no longer watertight.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I'm sure she can fix that in a couple seconds.
Probably.
No big deal.
For your
Can we go
powers.
down?
Duct tape.
That's how I would fix it.
All
They
right.
make MDC duct tape, don't they?
So she's like, did you guys manage to find that GB 101?
Kinda.
Yes.
Kinda yes and kinda yes. But there's a problem.
What's the problem?
Oh, you can come out now.
It's got a person in it.
No, the GB is the boom gun.
Oh, right.
She wanted the boom gun. Yes, we found it. Yes, it's still operational. But no, you can't have it.
Oh shit!
So we have a problem. And it's about a 4-ton shiny problem.
Ah. So you guys, I'm imagining you guys probably pull into the building.
Currently, yes.
Okay.
I don't want Mr. Shiny Pants looking at our Sky Fortress thing, which is going to be like covered or have gantry or something around it while it's being
Tarp over
repaired.
in the parking lot.
Well, it's supposed to
couldn't
be
imagine
inside.
the tarp. That'll. I think she started inside for you guys for the most part,
Yeah.
unless she needs the space. In which case, well, it's got to come out. But
Behind one of those big curtains.
don't pay attention to the massive fortress behind the curtain.
It wasn't going to until you said something. Subtlety is not your strong suit, is it?
This is coming from a juicer.
Hey, I can be plenty subtle if I want to. I can be subtle like a goat.
I think that's just about every juicer, but yeah, that's about as subtle as they get. So he climbs down. You guys kick the couple of Sam-ass pieces out. She looks. Holy fuck! You guys travel hot.
Oh, hang on. Well, we didn't get everything out yet. I go grab the boxes.
The missile boxes.
We found some.
Well, you guys didn't take the boxes. You guys took the pod that had the.
We took the missiles out, plus the pod.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But we stored everything in the boxes with.
Did we
random
load the
electronic-
mini missiles back into ours because we were running
Yeah, the
low?
mini missiles because they're plasma missiles.
Right.
Yeah, they're way better than ours.
Yeah.
They're also way more expensive than ours. But we have 6 small missiles.
And the mini missile pod.
Yeah, and the mini missile little turret pod thing.
She's like, shit. You want to load some enforcer gear onto this thing? She looks at the APC. Oh, okay.
No, you can make all that shit disappear. This is what we were able to find. There's more there, but it's getting a little hot to handle out there. And I've been able to fool them temporarily. They'll be back and enforce and probably searching for the gear that they want back. So my advice is get rid of these. However you want to, however you need to.
ASAP.
Buy them, sell them, whatever. I don't care.
She's like, disposal of the basic hardware shouldn't be a problem.
The missiles might be a little more so. Well, actually, for around here, those style of missiles are probably pretty rudimentary.
Yeah,
And I
right
mean-
now yours will have like CS serial numbers. She goes up to him. So you want me to erase the serial numbers?
You just gonna do figure erasers? Yeah, figured as much.
She's like,
Fingered as much.
Yeah.
I just meant used a finger.
Oh, gee.
Straight south.
Absolutely.
Giggity.
She's like, well, yeah, the serial numbers is no problem. Do you guys have anything to mount these? Because you had some short range missiles, didn't you? Oh, I thought. Oh, so you guys just
Mini
took the
missiles. Well, because we grabbed the short range missiles.
Yeah.
There's no launcher.
Yeah.
So they sell. If she wants to sell them to anybody for just straight up cash for their own shit, that's fine.
She looks at your unit. The APC. The APC. She checks out your unit. Oh, shit.
We are doing phrasing, right?
Yes, apparently. Apparently phrasing exists.
Of course it does.
And,
Clearly says NSFW.
Well, we're already talking about her fingering my unit already, so what the hell?
Dive right in.
Nice.
she's like, I could potentially put a short-range missile launcher on that.
We'd have to still get the launcher, wouldn't we?
Oh, she's like, I can supply the launcher.
Oh,
I have some stuff out back.
okay. And then we've got another problem, which is going to be a little more,
Shiny.
Well, yeah,
no, a little
she
more
looks.
volcanic in how hot it is.
She looks and she's like, that was one of the big things I was concerned about. You guys do travel fucking hot.
It's cooled since we poured the liquid assets out.
She's like,
Or
yeah,
sorry, liquid asses out.
Yeah.
yeah. She's like, pouring the liquid assets out was one small part of it. The problem is the tracer beacons in them.
I'm sure you could do something about that.
I can. The fact that it made it to my shop, hopefully nothing got through the hull of your ship. But we'll see.
Then you better take care of them quickly then.
So if you want me to take care of this for you, What do I get out of it?
We have money. Usually that's how that works.
Oh yeah.
I would do you another favor, but
Well, we
I feel
haven't
like that would
really
probably just-
fulfilled the first one. She wanted a boom gun.
There's a few things I'm not normally willing to do, but I'll take
You
one.
take
for
one
the
for the
team.
team.
Yeah.
But she's like, so we don't have a boom gun.
Well, no, we have a boom gun. It's just he has the boom gun. And it still mostly works. Looks a lot worse for wear, but whatever.
Would you do me a favor on it? Pass me those pencils, pens.
She's like, yeah, I could fix that boom gun. She's like, the problem is,
Thank you.
the glitter boy it's attached to.
well, the person inside the glitter boy it's attached to.
I'm gonna just have to try and convince him to let the gun go.
That might not happen.
He's like, yeah, over my dead body.
That's kind of the point.
It could be arranged.
Grabs can.
He's like, you think so?
I almost killed you with a drop kick. I'm sure I could chainsaw you out of
I
there.
go intangible.
Not blow up our one bolt hole here.
He's like, you can see he looks like he's getting a little bit nervous kind of thing with you guys here. He's like, so how hostile of an environment is this right now, gentlemen? And
What
you
as
guys,
hostile as outside was?
Let's
Currently, nobody's pointing any guns at anybody yet.
let's maybe not blow up our one safe house.
Yeah. That's probably.
If there's any glass windows, the boom gun might fix all of that.
yeah, no more glass windows.
But then everyone in town would know something bad is going on in this building.
And everyone inside this building would be essentially deaf for like,
I'm pretty sure we're all pretty deaf still.
oh yeah,
Because
your
none of
ears
us-
are still ringing.
Yeah.
For sure. But the reverberation inside this building would be like crime. It would not do well.
But at this point, we still haven't exercised our ability to maybe bargain with the people he works for. Because they might have other ordnance that they might be willing to trade for, say, a Samus unit
And returning a glitter boy with its operator alive and intact.
and most of his equipment.
He's like, so, where do we stand? What's,
Well, we need to talk to your superiors first. So at this point, we have to dig out the long-range communication equipment.
okay? So
Give
someone,
him, well, we have to give him access to it. So I'm assuming he doesn't have long-range gear inside the
just medium range.
yeah, so we've got long range that we can give him access to. At this point, yeah, turning our little bolt hole into a firefight zone, not exactly part of our options.
Except you can still go in.
While you guys are chatting about that, Frey made sure to get in there and basically eliminate that.
The way I see it, the only time we were ever really fiddling with that stuff was while we were in the other town.
Yeah.
So if anything
but-
pinged, it probably would have been over there.
No,
The Samas.
no.
Ah.
The Samus, remember, they said they're one of you guys on radar, which means they were still detecting the Samus suit that was in the APC.
Yeah,
The other one
got
was destroyed.
fucking blown the hell up, right?
Yeah. So that one's no longer functioning.
But would the radar still be, or the team still be going?
At that point, yes.
Yeah.
So at this point, we'd probably have to throw it back into the APC and basically drive it around like on a wild goose chase, and then have Frey disable it.
But she's already disabled it, no?
Well, she's getting herself in there, so I
Well-
can basically say, "Hang on, let's try and lead them on a goose chase before we make the radar ping disappear."
What? Do we have any vehicles around that nobody's going to be too sad if they don't come back? Like, Did we, from the Dino Ranch, did we grab that one abandoned quad that we found?
No, it was too far gone for us to even drag it
Or
out.
we could take it to where we're going with this guy.
What I'm just thinking is if we can move the tracer beacon from the Samas to something else,
I have the perfect idea for
I
that.
can boot that thing out of there and then just fly back.
But the thing is, if we can have it even attached to something that has its own power supply, and then just basically destroy it, we can use whatever vehicle we want. So I have a tarantula jump bike that's capable of almost 300 miles an hour. And that would be roughly what a Samus suit would actually travel at. So can Frey pull the tracker beacon out of that thing and still have it function? Because I'm assuming it'll have its own internal battery supply.
That way they can track it in the units.
Yeah.
She's like, alright, I beat you to it. Pulls it out, tosses it in the back of the APC.
Okay, I go get on the transfer bike. And basically put the tracker beacon in my pocket.
You want any backup on this run?
Maybe stay close to the radio.
Alright, so
So while you guys are negotiating and talking on the radio, I'm gonna go make it look like the Samus suit was having a wild goose chase out in the area. No, wrong book.
alright. So you're going to non-civilized areas?
And drive around like a complete moron at basically maximum speed.
So you're doing a jutsu thing.
Yeah,
Awesome, sounds good.
in the tarantula jump bike, so at least I can hit the kind of speeds that a Samus would do.
Well, and I mean, if there's anything tall you want to drive up or make a jump or whatever.
It
Yeah.
can do that too. So yeah, top speed of 200 miles an hour. So yeah, I get onto some of those longer straights and accelerate to maximum speed, use rocket propelling and jet assistance and all that to make it look like it's maneuvering and chasing something, and then all of a sudden I throw the thing on the ground and smash it into little pieces and shoot it a couple of times and then drive back home.
Fair enough. Alright, so you're going to go and do that. I'll get you to make a couple of piloting rolls because you're trying to do stupid things, which is about right.
It's par for the course, it's okay.
Well, it's not like you're going to roll that thing to the point of it being.
No, I just might hurt myself badly. Which happens. 45.
So you're going to start. That's going to be the trip out, and I'll say we'll get you to roll once for the trip back, and then we're good. Those of you back at base.
Geared up and like cleaned up.
Okay.
I'll work on so Frey can help me teach me some more
Switch out your power packs and your shields and allow them to allow them to cool down.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That reminds me, what shield did we say I had again? I don't think I actually have it written down.
What it was?
Yours is a super heavy.
Yeah, what are we gonna do with him?
Sit him down in the corner and tell him to wait.
Well, first off, we're going to try and get him in contact with his superiors, so we can maybe bargain for his return. Because we're not doing this kind of shit for free.
Right. Yeah, I thought that's what we were doing, was bargaining for a return.
That's
Or at
160
least
in
hoping
BC,
for
right?
some kind of reward.
Compensation of
Compensation,
some
yeah.
sort.
Or even just, a lead on another job.
Okay, so.
And getting recharged on everything, of course, as we say. I guess we don't want to
Joseph
be
is
turning
going to
on.
grab a shower and a coffee.
Okay. Okay, so the pilot, his name is Anders, gets out and he starts. He gets out and he starts trying to crank the radio, and he manages to get a hold.
Of the Death Head transport. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
That would be. Don't give him ideas.
Okay. And he managed to get in contact with a captain of Braddock's Bad Boys by the name of Gerbert. Captain Gerbert.
I could already see the gerbil jokes coming.
That's the first thing
I am holding myself back right now. I'm sure Gerbils. Gerbils a good guy.
Spirit come back.
Sorry, I didn't even mean to that time.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes, you did.
In fact, not, which tells me that name is definitely going to stick as Gerbil.
What is this actually? Gerbert?
Gerbert. Or Gerbert. But either way, he gets in contact with them. We'll send a contingent over to your location immediately. So he said,
Would that maybe draw some attention from the Death's Head that's in the area, do you think?
There's a good chance of that.
We should maybe mention that.
But
It's made at a
to be
different
honest,
location.
legitimately, they're going to realize that merc groups exist and they're going to be around.
Mm-hmm.
They don't hate merc groups. They hate merc groups that steal CS equipment and use CS equipment, which it's already proven that these assholes have done. Not that the CS knows that it's specifically the same guys that they fucking tactically fucked up.
Well, I will encourage. What was our glitter boy's name again? Pilot Anders. I'll encourage Anders to advise him of the Death's Head in the area and to come loaded for bear if they're going to be coming up.
I already let them know that we were ambushed. They're going to send a how do you put it? A division that's not going to raise too many eyebrows.
Fair.
So it's looks like they're going to be about 6 or 7 hours.
Holy shit. Okay. How do we want to prepare for their arrival? Do we want to be prepared in case they try and bug us?
I think so. Greed probably also needs a nap because we overnighted this thing basically, didn't we?
Oh yeah,
That's
you guys
actually
are,
a really good point.
you guys are sitting on probably I'm going to say about 19 hours without sleep yet.
Yeah, how does Cosmo Night, Fawn, or otherwise respond to lack of sleep? Do we still require the same?
You actually require sleep now. A normal Cosmo Knight doesn't, but you just because you're fallen, you've lost that kind of the blessing of the forge. You've lost that.
That voodoo.
Okay.
Have a bite to eat. Take this sleep.
Okay. All right, so you guys take a rest. You guys give the Glitter Boy pilot some quarters
Place to
or
rest.
a place to lay his head.
Sure.
There's not really anywhere for it. I mean, you guys are renting a part of this building from Frey, but I'm sure you guys have a front room or something.
Is there
Sure, we
a
have some cots set up in the
Yeah.
corner somewhere.
So here's a cot and a hot meal, so hope you like dino steak.
Dino steak. It's like that's the only kind of steak I like.
So he goes over, chills on the side for a little bit. So, what else were you guys doing? You guys were just basically taking a rest and just knocking down. You don't need to. You can go 3 to 4 days without any penalties. So,
Just juicer things.
Yeah, does juicer things, listens to heavy metal music, and rages around his room.
I'm currently hot rodding in the town on the Tarantula Lake.
Sure, why not?
Well, I've still got the thing on, so I haven't come back yet.
Oh yeah. You're
I'm off doing things. productive things.
Juicer things.
Yeah, juicer things. Juicer things are always productive.
Official juicer business.
Very much. All professional juicer business.
Even if I'm sitting there just banging my head against the wall, still juicer things.
So you dispatch the tracking device, the little black box, whatever you want to call it, and you begin making your way back. Roll your other piloting roll.
Okay.
Please don't fail.
Gonna happen. It might have happened.
Uh-oh.
71.
Motorcycle?
I think you're going to be fired from driving soon.
Who keeps letting this guy
See,
I
drive?
failed by 3, 4.
All right.
How is my rocket bike skill better than yours?
Because mine's not rocket bike, mine's juicer jump bike combat.
Ah, that makes sense.
Square peg, round hole.
Well, this would
A
just be a
juicer would make
pilot
it work.
motorcycle. You wouldn't have to
Oh.
be worried about, because I mean, it's not like you're fighting or shooting anything right now or doing complex maneuvers.
I guess. If that's the case, then I passed by 1.
You are blasting along at quite a heck of a pace. You see an animal that's just in front of you on the road. Ooh, that could have been bad news. You just kind of pull back straight and you make it back to base. You just missed hitting a pack of wolves.
Can you imagine a wolf that just like powder?
It's like a smear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
It
well, it
would
would depend on the
miss.
wolf too.
NBC Wolf, yeah. Oh, that would suck.
Yeah.
At that point, I would be like combat maneuver, particle beam cannon, fire, fire, fire.
As long as it's actually a real wolf too.
Yeah, there's that possibility too.
Oh yeah.
Get mauled by vampires.
Oh, how'd you know?
Because they're basically vermin.
Pretty much. All right, so you managed to make it back to base. The Glitter Boy pilot's off in the corner on a cot. The other 3 are snoozing and dozing. Frey locked down the compound, so you have to pin everything to get it back in. Or like pin in the code, get inside.
Unlock everything and then lock it all again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you toss her back on lockdown, and we'll say, how long did you drive for?
Not quite an hour.
Okay.
Because I don't want them monitoring everything when they're asking for another check-in.
Fair enough. All right, so you guys are actually just getting ready to head to bed when he gets back.
What did you see?
Almost saw a coyote really close. Really close.
3D close.
Like 4D close.
You know VR, you know how close it is? Even closer than that.
Yeah.
The internal
The
closeness.
internal organs.
So close, if you're any closer, you would be the coyote.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not even an out-of-body experience. It was almost an in-of-body experience.
So, you don't have to sleep, but you guys can all do whatever the heck you want.
I'm investing in high quality headphones and listening to heavy metal music. So I
Sounds
don't
good.
completely annoy everybody, just mildly
This
annoy
time.
everybody.
Fair enough. All right. So, you guys wake up about 5 hours later, and Frey's like, I'm catching something on the radar. I think this is that contingent you were talking about. And on the long range radar she's got upstairs, she's like, yeah, it's a bit sizable. From the sounds of things, there's some big units. They're not traveling super fast, but she's like, yeah, there seems to be at least seven heavily armored units.
I'm gonna need to break your gun if this goes south.
I'm getting on the chopper because that's the big gun I have.
So, anyways,
That's what I need now. I need the Icarus.
oh,
I can't afford one, and I don't even know where to find one.
that would be hard.
Be
They're
fine.
not a common unit. All right. So Frey's like, so patch up the 2 holes. No big deal. $5 grand. I don't care. Whatever. What do you want done with this thing? And she points to the Samass.
Well, if we're lucky, we might be able to sell that to these guys.
So you've got a head.
If you can put the 2 pieces together and make them kind of work. Even if they don't completely work, if they kind of work. If the head and everything sticks together, I'm sure I'll be happy.
Fire beware.
Just, it doesn't need to have that new power armor smell or anything like that.
She's like, it's not having a power armor smell ever again. You know, back in my day, we used to have a rumor about a Corvette stinking like a dead guy because someone died in it and stayed in it for a week. I'm pretty sure that's what this is going to be here.
No, this one's gonna.
What's
This
a
one's
Corvette?
probably gonna. This was probably gonna smell like
Gunpowder and excrement?
like
Nailed
shitty
it.
pork soup.
She's like, oh, that's so much better.
At least it was more descriptive.
Well, I suppose it's probably going to be the APC by the time we're done with it.
Depends if anybody dies in it.
She's like,
So
yeah, I can-
far, we're good.
she's like,
Well,
I can fix it
depending
up.
how
But
much
it'll-
you're driving it.
Oh, we're all gonna die.
she's like, that'll cost you $20K for me to put this together quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna need to scavenge some of my supplies. So she manages to put the head
Say
on
we've
it.
got. I think we got. I
Looks to be a good
think we got
semblance.
$20K in like just straight up cash right now.
Okay.
Not even just assets, because we got tons of assets right now.
And she's like, what do you think about what's coming?
I'm not going to be in here when they come in. I'm going to take the chopper and go over there, because it has a good long range with a big heavy hitting gun. So if they decide to do something stupid, I can pop shot them and try and lure them away. But keep an open communications line,
Yeah, for sure.
and we'll see. If I have to annoy somebody, I'll annoy somebody.
I'm going airborne.
Okay.
I'll be intangible and just kind of stay out of sight where I can watch.
Wait,
She's
she's
like,
actually going to
who's-
talk to these people.
Yeah, she's like, who's gonna talk to him?
I nominate the Cosmonite.
Jeez Louise.
He's going to have a communication with somebody at some point.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the juicer talking to people.
Yeah.
And that could go one of 2 ways.
Cosmonite therapist looks up. Hey, he's talking to somebody right
who's,
now.
who's the most trustworthy of you guys? Let's be honest. You.
No.
And
No, I'm the most aggravating one.
then I think between everyone else, I think it's actually you.
What's
Which
your
one is it?
trust?
M8.
Yeah.
Oh, 24. Oh, trust intimidates 80%.
Yeah.
What's yours, Kelly?
Fine.
Well, I like that. I like that picture. That's your Cosmo?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. That's something bigger than a Cosmo. I don't
Oh.
even know what the
Oh,
fuck I'm
okay.
doing.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's perfect.
Looks like it's got a missile pod on one shoulder.
It does. I'm like, am I meching this? Am I knighting it? What the fuck am I making?
We could do that.
And
We
if
could
that's
do
an
both.
APC,
Hang on. There's
then this wouldn't
both
be that hard.
options.
Yeah, that's an APC.
Okay, so then yeah, if that's drawn for size, then we're talking like Devastator, but instead of a railgun, he's got like a missile launcher, long range.
I don't have a trust intimidate.
What's
Yeah, it's.
your M8, Kelly?
Hey.
What is it?
We can do both. See, there's a
Oh,
both.
yeah.
There's a both option.
Yeah.
Of
Of course there is. That's right.
Crazy.
So your mental
Oh,
affinity.
sorry.
Oh, no problem.
10.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
see,
can actually stick around and do the talking.
Yeah.
At least 14 is better than 10.
If you
Well, I
want
have
it to go better than a
24.
fight.
Okay, so the juicer is the face now. Damn it!
she's got 24, which is pretty solid.
Yeah. But we also, if something goes horribly, horribly wrong,
So you can go
she
intangible.
can go intangible. And we can just like nuke this place from orbit if possible.
Yeah.
Frey
only
might
way to
be
be sure.
pissed.
Yeah.
Frey might be dead. We don't know this.
So, you guys aren't going out to meet them or anything, right?
Actually,
what
I
does-
will. I don't want them knowing exactly where we are.
Okay. So you head out to meet them. Is anyone else going with them? Or are you just going on the bike?
I'll fly
go
along, I
intangible.
You want to come along and then just go intangible?
Yeah.
Just kind of monitor what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's riding with me, he's flying.
Alright, so you guys...
Are you going to stick with our prisoner?
Yeah, the glitter boy? Yeah, I'll stick around there.
Okay. We'll
Let's
keep
not
an open
leave him
com.
unsupervised.
Yeah. We'll keep an open comm link.
For sure.
So you guys drive out. As you guys drive out, you see what looks to be some old Earth class style tanks, but you can tell they've been updated.
Oh, Golden Age weapons.
Yeah.
Upgraders. Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys also see what looks to be some Ironheart gear.
Okay.
So
Well, I don't see that, but you guys radio that back to me and let me know that that's what's coming.
Yeah. We got some like main battle tanks and some clunky but heavily armored equipment. Not coalition anything, so at least that much.
at least that's clean. And clear. So they sent something that wasn't really.
Wasn't a giant beacon that says nuke here.
Yeah.
So you get out to them. They kind of pull to a stop. They don't aim the guns at you guys or anything like that. They know that they've got you more than well outnumbered. They're not worried. But you guys hear a call over the radio. What can we do for you folks?
Well, as I'm looking up at some of these guys, because I'm just standing in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
I think you guys are looking for me, or at least my group.
And what business do we have?
A wayward soul.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'd appreciate the return of said wayward soul.
I'm certain we could arrange that,
I'll appreciate it.
but we
What,
certainly put a fair bit of risk into levering him out from underneath a fairly sizable thumb that wished to squash it.
Whatever it was that took out that group, we heard rumor that it was potentially CS didn't like our equipment.
Well,
Might
I'd
be
say that's
mistaken.
probably fairly accurate, but they certainly came with enough people to tote all that crap away and reduce to slag anything that might not have been destroyed before.
So what ended up hitting?
Some sort of ballistic missile.
What was it launched from?
That I couldn't tell you. It was enough that only one, and it pretty much destroyed everything.
Shit.
And the cleanup crew showed up.
Yeah. Yeah, then a really big cleanup crew showed up. Actually, I don't know if the cleanup crew showed up. I'm sure that place is probably pretty close to crawling by now, because there's been several failed check-ins by now. At least 5.
Well, I think it happened, about 80 miles north of here?
I think it was only about 40 miles.
Oh yeah, you're about right. Yeah, it does look to be crawling heavy right now.
Yeah.
Looks like an ant's nest.
And anything big show up?
Nothing sitting above the tree line right now that we can see, but we can see a ton of movement on the ground.
Do they look like scavenging crews, or is it investigation?
I can't tell from this range. All
Yeah.
there are is little dots on the screen at the moment that's moving around.
Okay. At this point, I'm assuming they have active radar on pretty much everything in the area. So,
I would have to imagine as well. That's why we took a cleaner crew
Yeah, the problem is the cleaner version of your wayward soul is not nearly as clean.
How bad's he?
He's a little roughed up, but he's gonna light up like a beacon the moment he goes anywhere.
Yeah. Especially on the long range radar if they got the right stuff there.
Oh, I'm certain they're checking everything.
So, what do you guys propose?
Well, we have a vehicle that can probably stow him, and we can travel to where we'll have to travel quite a ways away to get outside of radar.
Okay. And I'm assuming you're not going to do this for free.
Why would anyone do anything for free?
So, what's your price?
Well, that depends, because we've got something that may sweeten the deal for you guys.
And what would that be?
A mostly intact Samus unit. Current model.
Really?
Tracking beacon already removed.
That's a good selling point, actually.
Yeah, I think they're on like the third iteration of the Samus suit now. And the new ones look fantastic by comparison to the old ones.
Yeah.
Gotta get those style points.
Oh, you should. You got the Coalition War book?
Coalition War Campaign?
Yeah. So that one has
I don't know if I brought it today, but
If you said, "Do you have blank penny book?" I would be surprised if it was not in that.
If you had
giant
all of
There's
them,
more
that
home.
box would have to be
I would
twice as big.
I would have 2 to 3
Wow.
boxes.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
insane.
There's
There's a
34 world books.
Jesus Christ.
Alone. 39. The
There's
Sovietsky.
Oh, right.
I think the Coalition War Campaign's at home.
Okay. But yeah, no, they upgraded Samus and even the Skullboy suits.
Skelewots.
No, just the normal
Oh, the
like,
dead boy
troopers.
Dead
Yeah,
boy troopers.
Dead Boy troopers look
Yeah.
so much better than the old ones.
You see an older gentleman, not super old, but he looks to be mid-30s, maybe early 40s.
Okay.
He kind of stands out from above the rest, jumps out of the APC, jumps out of one of the Ironheart APCs and comes down. He's taking a look around. You see this group seems to be pretty mishmash. There's a couple of what looks to be crazies. You see some other juicers. I
It's
mean,
just a big mix and match.
but everything that they've got is well taken care of. All of their equipment seems to be cleaned, primed, ready, well maintained, super well
Anything they're
taken care of.
using is anything they're using super old, like outdated, or
Nothing's
fairly
nothing's super outdated. It seems to be.
fairly run of the mill everything. Okay.
I'll come down to a more ground level, I guess.
Well, now that we're
See
having
that
just a
things are
a normal chat.
yes.
So, what are you thinking for the return of our man? 250 sound good?
I think 250 sounds acceptable, especially if we're delivering them. I'm assuming you guys didn't bring anything big for them to fit inside of.
Taking a look in the back of the. You see a fairly sizable APC that would be capable
Yeah.
of carrying him.
Okay. So yeah, if we're not delivering him directly to, my biggest concern is we have him undercover right now, which he probably isn't lit up on radar there. But yeah, as soon as he goes outside, it's going to be immediate. So we can transport him to a secondary location, and we can do the trade-off there.
That sounds fair. I'll throw in an extra 20.
Okay.
Nice.
And what do you figure for if you guys want that certain piece of power armor?
You bring that along, and we'll take a look and see if it's something we're interested in.
All right.
If it's in as good a condition as I'd like, I might throw a mill at you.
Okay.
But it depends on how hot I think it looks. If it looks like it's something that's going to be easy for us to deal with and hide, sure. If it's something that's going to stick out like a sore thumb, we got wild weasels that we can get, but they're the old style. And if it's the new stuff, it's kind of hard to hide the new style with an old paint job.
That's true. That is very true.
It's bad enough running those. I might have to run that just on the west coast, and that's it. And if I can only run it in a couple of places, Braddock's not going to be super interested. But we'll take a look and we'll talk when we meet.
All right. Sounds good. I'll
Close to the old Lone Star border. Meet us there in a day and a half.
That's
Okay.
not bad.
It's still like 400 miles, but that's fine.
Still not bad.
As long as we don't putz around too much and we keep it at a reasonable speed and not get hung up by too much.
That's the key one right there. Not getting hung up by too much.
Well, if we stay on the road and keep it at a reasonable speed, we should be okay.
Very large ifs.
You're dealing with a
Who's
juicer.
driving?
Everything's an if.
Take everything.
You're driving?
We'll say I'm driving this time.
Hey, if we can get another jetpack, I can fly the jetpack. And then if I crash, I'm the only one that gets hurt.
True. $1,000,000 for a pretty shiny jetpack.
Fair enough.
50 grand. I think yours is only 50 or 60 grand. I think yours is the fastest one. It's just the least armored.
All right, so
so-
he gives you the exact address or the
Gives us
exact
the
kind of
coordinates.
location.
Give those GPS coordinates.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, inform them that we'll meet them there in 36 hours.
Okay. Just pulling a map up for myself.
Let's make sure the chair doesn't go over backwards this time.
Reset the stream.
You would know that the area that you guys are heading towards, there is definitely going to be a reasonable population of vampires. So it is definitely something that you guys are going to want to watch out for.
Means we'll have to take a little bit of time to swap over to the other weapons. Because, yeah, I'd rather keep the mini missiles and then swap over to the water cannon, if that's the case. And do not open until bloodsuckers case, so then we can start reissuing everybody new equipment.
Okay, so I'm just going to zoom in here.
Keeping my laser sword. You can keep it all you want, just don't use it on them.
Actually, we're going to be looking a little bit. Yeah, CS Lone Star, you guys are talking. You guys are talking still actually inside of Texas itself. Close to,
Texas is 600 miles across, though.
well, Texas is 600 miles across, but where you guys are looking at going to, you guys are currently right here.
No, we're
Yeah, so
He's
that's
getting.
okay. So that's a little more like 600 miles. Okay.
So there's some solid distance, and you guys are traveling through. If you guys want to go straight, like as the crow flies, you guys are going to be going through CS El Dorado.
What does that mean?
That's
CS control. That's a coalition-controlled territory.
now, I mean, you guys, for the most part, again, mercenary groups are not. They're not hated and hunted. They're frowned upon, and you
Are they
keep your
harassed,
nose fucking clean. Oh yeah, they'll be harassed, especially if you got any weirdos in it. Now, I mean, the three of you will all sniff off. Actually, all four of you will sniff off on the dog boy.
Yeah, because I've got psionic capabilities.
So every
I
single
mean,
one of you will sniff off.
Yeah.
So the dog boy's gonna come within range, and he's gonna be like, I smell supernaturals, and it's gonna be all over the place.
Mm.
The only one who could potentially mask himself, you've got those spells.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just looking at you, you're like a 6.5, 7 foot tall being that can't remove his armor because it's a part of you.
Yeah. So probably going to set up a few warning bells regardless of.
Yeah. Even if they don't see you being supernatural, they're gonna be like, "The fuck is this?"
I have the. Do I have?
Mask ISB.
No, I was thinking more like the power armor piloting. I do not. I have flight system combat, which is not power armor. If I had power armor ability, I could basically just put myself in that Samus suit if it's
I have
functional.
power armor.
You have capability of flying in power armor?
I have pilot robot / power armor. I don't know if I can fly it.
Well,
You will have
Piloting-
elite.
piloting
But
is
you'll be good.
piloting is just the ability to fly in it. And flying is one of the modes. It's just the Samus makes things a little easier because it's got flight systems built in. Because what I was thinking of is more along the lines of him taking the long way around. Because that Samus suit will be hot as hell. If we can get him flying high enough to be outside of most effective range.
Or low enough to be out of radar. Like
My
flying
concern
tree
is
height.
my concern is on the roads, which we will have to take with the APC if we're going to have any hope in getting there on time. Because the other option is disassemble the power armor. And hopefully be able to stash enough of its components throughout the entirety of the cargo of the APC. And basically stack the APC to the rafters and junk.
See, now I mean, if you guys wanted to head south, as if you guys were going to head towards Pecos, the Pecos Empire,
That's getting
And
us
then-
even more into vampire territory, though.
Well, who do you want to deal with?
keeps you.
Coalition or Bloodsuckers?
I'd rather deal with neither, but where I can deal with
Bloodsuckers?
one of them.
Let's do it, Bloodsuckers.
Bloodsuckers you can just shoot on sight,
Exactly.
so at least that much.
We won't have
Coalition, if you shoot at them, they're going to shoot you back.
And call
usually,
back up.
and usually with bigger guns.
Yeah,
Physical body, how long can I hold that for?
As long as you want indefinite.
and then call back up with even bigger guns.
Or ballistic missiles.
True. Litter Boy already survived one of those. And if we're going to be delivering,
Just because, yeah.
He survived one. That's the operative term.
So I have the ID of one of the guys, and I can change my features to look like it. If that would help.
My only concern with that one is there'd be passcodes and clearance codes, and just being able to duplicate what someone looks like is only like the easiest portion of that.
Right. Yeah, because it wasn't able to talk at all.
And if you're to fall flat on that one, they get impersonation of a CS charge on it, and if they get their hands on you with anything, because I'm sure even with intangibility, a dog boy will be able to sniff you out
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because they are scary with what they can do.
Anything even remotely supernatural.
And then you get a Psy Stalker that'll lock you up in one way or another, and they will find a way to imprison you. They are, if not resourceful when it comes to situations like that.
And that's one of the few things that the CS keeps Psy Stalkers around for is hunt down supernaturals, because you use a supernatural to hunt a supernatural. I know that much.
So they know we use them as tools, but don't like them.
Well,
just the same.
they basically subjugate everyone they want and use them for their own means, one way or another. Because they are one of the ones that actually use people like PPE batteries.
It's like Blade 3.
Something like that.
So, I mean, I think he said a day and a half, right?
Yeah, 36 hours.
36 hours to clip 900 miles.
It was, and that thing's our NPC's got nuclear power, so it's not like it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, all you have to do is
just
was
drop the
12 hours.
hatch.
12 hours and 12 hours. And 12 hours at 90 miles an hour gets you there, but I mean, you're not going 90 miles an hour on the roads all the time.
No. Can it do 90 miles an hour indefinitely? Oh yeah, that's
It'll-
right.
it'll-
You do have to let it. You have to let it stop and cool down.
Yeah, it's a cooldown at 12 hours.
Okay, so at least we can.
You could theoretically make it there in one run if you pinned it.
Yeah, but that's going to get us in trouble because it seems to all the time.
Yeah.
At least
Because
when
then
I'm driving.
When we get there, we're stuck for however long it takes to cool down, and then we go home.
Yeah, I'd rather not run it because if something does go wrong and we're stuck on a cooldown cycle with that thing, that's not what I want.
No, that means we're either going down with the ship or leaving it there and coming back to hopefully find it later.
Unless you guys do 6 and 6.
I'd rather do 6 and 6 and gives us a possibility, or even do.
Well, and if you do get into a possibility, you get in and pin it for the next 5 hours. Okay, I have to cool down now, but are we away from the shit that
Yeah.
we're in?
Well, and at that point, if we're shooting for 5 hours and we're still not free of it, we're not getting free of it.
Yeah, you have to do intervention. So, that's up to you guys. Do you guys want to take a roundabout? You guys are at about... Yeah, you guys are at about 600 miles right now. If you guys take a roundabout way, I'm going to say 720, unless you guys want to hire a wilderness scout who might be able to take you through a nicer passage.
Wilderness Scout, the only downside is the further off the road you get, the worse shit gets. You end up running into bigger, badder things. At least on the road, fairly well traveled, that kind of shit gets kind of spread apart a little bit more. I'm honestly at this point, I want this to be just a quick and easy milk run.
And you just
Stay on-
jinxed it.
stay on the road. I could throw myself into the jaws of something that's going to eat us. I'm okay with that. If I have to, I will.
I got it.
Yep. So let's stay on the road. Stay on the road, but we'll go the roundabout way of doing it.
He's like,
We'll
fair
go,
enough then.
we'll go further south. But we're going to swap the main gun on the APC over to the water cannon. Because further south is more vampire territory. Actually gets more into the vampire kingdom's territory. There's more vampires than anything else.
Mexico.
New Mexico, southern Louisiana, and southern Texas.
Pecos Empire is nasty for that area. Lots of nasty stuff.
Yeah, that whole like Gulf of Mexico is basically Vampire Central. So yeah,
It's like, let's do it.
so moving, if we're going to be doing that, moving through the night. So I'm going to talk to.
So sorry, if we're not pinning it, are we still going to hit that cooldown cycle, or is that only if we're?
I don't want
Close
to be.
to the-
I don't want to be stuck either at the meeting point
Mhm.
during our cooldown cycle. I don't want to be stuck in the vampire area during
So
the
you've got-
cooldown cycle.
12 hours, you're saying? 12 hours gunning it before we're shutting it down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not gunning it, but certainly giving it a good run.
Okay.
This thing should have decent suspension, and it's got 6 wheels, so it should soak up the road pretty decent.
12 hours of full speed travel would technically do the 720 miles that you needed. But he's
yeah.
giving you a day and a half, which means if you really need to, you split it up into 2 days, and you could have a little bit extra by the time you get there.
Yeah. I think not full bore, but maybe rather than 90 miles an hour,
About
do
60.
like 65, 70. So in that
Keep
first,
us,
so it
get
gives
us
us
through vampire territory quickly, but not at a pace that we're going to have to stop and cool down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and not be there
For a long
early.
time.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to blow through vampire territory ASAP.
Yeah.
So
Agree with you
because of which, before we leave, I want to talk to Frey about putting perimeter lighting on the APC because we're going to be going through vampire territory at night. So if we're traveling, it's going to be at night through the vampire territory.
She's like, sure, I can put some lights on here. She's like, let's see what I got here. I got a couple. I can do that for $3,000.
Do it up. Yeah,
Anything else you guys need before you're on the way?
well, we're gonna swap out the cannons. I'll move the spare water tanks that I have out of storage and put them on the back, and then route them to the cannon. I'll swap the cannons out. You just plumb it, and then we'll make sure everyone gets a water gun.
Get a super soaker I can borrow.
Yes, it's everyone gets a water shotgun except for Lynette, who gets a water pistol.
Doesn't she also have silver swords too?
Oh, the claw.
The cat's claws.
Oh no, you didn't take the vibro swords.
Cat's claws.
Ooh, that's right. I do have another gun that we can use.
Which was that one?
I have flechette rounds.
Oh,
I
you
have
have the
the
wood
wood
flechettes.
rounds. I have the wood flechette rounds for the MG202. So if that's the case, I think we will put the water tank still on top, but we'll use a handheld. I'll just swap the ammo drum out of the MG202 for the wood rounds.
So you're gonna handhold it.
Yeah, I'll do a man-portable version of that one.
All right. Fair enough.
And then everyone will reorganize a few things inside, alleviate any shit we're not going to likely use. Make sure our missile rack is full with
The plasmas.
plasmas.
You got her to throw on the short range, didn't you?
Yeah, but I don't think it's ready yet.
No.
So she'll figure out the launcher. She can have the 6 short rangers for now.
Okay.
And then I want to strap that Samus in tight to one of the bays where you normally like 2 people would sit. Just kind of fold up the seats and just kind of stick them there and ratchet strap them in nice and tight.
What about the glitter boy?
Glitter Boy, he's getting ratchet strapped too, but he's not going to be in the armor because we don't want another pylon incident. So we may have to cross a river or 2.
All right. So
But he can hang out here and he can have a water shotgun too.
he's like, I'll just stay in the truck. I can drive.
Okay? Means you get to use your jetpack still.
Cool. Vampires can fly, right?
Yes. I guess they can.
It's just make it
This is why
interesting.
water shotgun. I don't think they can fly at 120 miles an hour though. So that is a bonus for you. But
Even so, I only have.
the downside is 4 hours total,
Mhm.
and then you got to let it sit for 4 or 3.
Intangibility doesn't do anything with vampires. They can see me still, right?
They can see you, but they,
They still
can't hit
can't.
you
They still can't touch you.
until they start using their silent
I was
abilities
gonna
on you.
say, yeah.
Yeah, they still have a ways of hurting you, but
Oh yeah, they have lots of interesting things.
What else
Alright.
you good against vampires? Steaks, salt.
actually,
No
salt, no. Running water,
Silver.
silver, wood through the heart. It has to be wood through the heart.
All of a sudden I got
Running water.
Oh gosh. I don't know that. Like I know rain showers would work, but golden ones I don't think so.
You never know until you find out. You might only. Everyone who's probably tried has died.
I would imagine
So we're gonna go with that
horrible
for
ladies.
right now. You get run up on by a vampire with your junk in the air. Yeah, that's a bad idea.
All right. So, who is in what vehicles and who is in what modes of transportation?
We have jetpack.
I'm in the APC.
You're in the APC.
Okay.
You have normal like rifle capability, right?
Yeah, I've got
He's also got his sword, which is considered magical.
Oh,
Which is one of
right.
the few things. I think it might do half damage. No, it's considered a minor level rune weapon, so it would do
Full damage.
My
full
sword?
damage.
Yeah.
You need someone to arm the water cannon? If need be?
You've got weapons systems,
I do.
so you can run the mini missiles. The other one is, I believe, just heavy weapons. You don't have heavy weapons, do you?
Just weapons.
That's okay.
I do.
J12.
if we're against vampires, that energy
You're
weapons
using the
don't do as much.
J12 as well, right?
I am using.
No, he's got a-
I'm using the AL-18.
But that for vampires, those won't do much of anything. Those are just going to be
Yeah, flashlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to use the water guns when it comes to them. Everyone gets a water shotgun
super
because
soaker
because
essentially.
it shoots at a spray. These are the metal ones.
Oh. You invested in the better ones.
Yeah.
And I don't have one of those.
Yeah,
Just a
water pistol. Because you're not capable of shooting rifles.
Right.
As much fun as a spray of water is helpful.
2d6 from a little water pistol is still not bad though.
What does that water shotgun do?
I believe they do 3d6 or 4d6. Oh, that is the right book.
I'll be checking sensors while we're going.
Okay.
I'll ride along in the APC until such a time as we're getting into dangerous territory. I just will spend my time whittling away at a stick to make a stake.
Not a problem. You can easily do that. Alright, so how fast are you going and what kind of time frame are you planning on making it in?
Fast, but not.
We're doing about 60 miles an hour.
60 to 70 road
So 60 miles an
conditions
hour.
permitting.
And how many hours are you booting it for?
Well, at this point, we're going to do. I want probably about 75% speed for about the first 7 hours. And then we'll see where we're at. If we got to push it or if we can let it back a little bit.
Alright, so
I was thinking maybe actually hang back a little bit at the beginning and save some of our juice for when we get deeper into territory and pick up the pace then.
Well, I want to see if we can actually make it through. If we can make it through in our first 7 hours, we can let it off for the next 5. Remember, it's 12 hours, so 7 hours is just a little over half.
True.
yeah, and 7 hours at 60 gets you 420 miles.
Yeah. So then finding out how much more we have to contend with, we can either increase to 80 miles an hour, or we can cut it back to like 50.
Alright, so
There you go. That's what a glitter boy helmet looks like.
Oh.
Yeah, he ain't pretty, and like full chrome, like shiny chrome.
Yeah.
oh yeah. And I do need that for a couple of things, for some other things. So it's what, 3d6?
I think it's 3d6.
Does my jetpack have wings, or is it just like thrusters that hold me up?
Just thrusters.
Okay. So I can't grapple hook to the APC and get towed along like a kite.
No.
Okay.
As funny as that might be,
As fun as it could be too.
we're not trying to bait all the vampires. At that point, we're quite literally dangling a morsel behind us.
Well, I mean, I got
Trolling for vampires.
Yeah, at that point, we would legit be trolling for vampires. That'd be a great idea for later.
get a contract to clear some of them out, and there we go.
Oh, we'll get you the other one, and we'll just give you some glider wings and just bolt them to you, and then you'll just make sure you're within range of the big water cannons.
Well, I mean, the grappling hook is only got 100 foot of rope on it, so.
Well, so you'd be within range of the water cannon. We can make sure you get a shower periodically.
So you guys make it back to base, time break, and get everything prepped, and you guys are leaving at lunch. Essentially is what it's coming down to. So you guys have about 7.5 hours of daylight.
Oh, that's good.
That gives us. If we're leaving at lunch, means we're having to shut down around midnight. I'd rather delay departure by at least another 6 hours.
Yeah,
So
6
you
p.m.
guys
to
are
6
cutting.
a.m.
You guys are cutting your half day out. So you got 1 day to make it.
I still don't want to be. I don't want to be doing our shutdown in the middle of the night.
No.
Okay.
Or even if we leave earlier and just kind of move at a crawling speed, like keep it slow but steady, would that give us a little bit more runtime?
Technically,
my
the nuclear
checkers.
reactor's still running, but it's.
At this point, I'd rather just do that, and then so we do. You said full 12 hours, hitting it hard. If we can get clear Vampire Kingdoms at 9 hours, do a shutdown for 12, and then do the final 4 hours in, and it still gives us 6 hours back out, 6 to 8 hours back out.
That works for me.
Just staggered a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are gonna granny it for the first couple hours.
Yeah, just to kind of get the feel for it, let everyone settle in. And
So what I'll do is I'll treat it. I'll say if you guys are going 45, I'll treat it as if you're doing an hour full tilt and an hour off, and an hour full tilt and an hour
Okay.
off. So it would leave you with, for the most part, a fresh ability to chill. You guys are pinning it through some areas, whatever, and you guys are slowing down, getting that cooldown period for a little bit. So we'll treat it like that. So
My
for the
only
first 6 hours. Okay.
my only concern is if we're running full tilt through, or basically full tilt through Vampire Kingdoms, I don't want to run with the lights on. I want whoever's driving using night vision and infrared.
I mean, so we're not a giant beacon to
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
But if we get attacked by the vampires, then we turn all the lights on.
Yeah.
And then we try and wipe them out as quick as we can with the water guns, and then shut the lights back off.
Give
Yeah.
you flashbacks to
Well, because
Planet Side 2
giant
games.
beacon of bright light
Yeah.
everywhere is going to draw everything, even if it's not a vampire.
Oh, this is definitely giving me flashbacks to my fucking Planet Side 2 days. That was fun.
Well, at least you have fond memories of it.
Yeah.
So your
You
first
familiar with the game?
Hmm?
You familiar with the game?
Yeah, I've played Planet Side 2.
Yeah.
so
I
your,
didn't have a very good experience with it because my internet connection sucked.
I had a group of buddies and we all piled into the same APC and we're trying to be sneaky about this. This was before they shuffled everything around so you could only conquer connected territories. We were trying to sneak around the back line and cut off reinforcements for a great big battle that was going on. And we're going up the side of a mountain, and then we've got two guys on the gun turrets, both flat guns, of course, because aircraft are the bane of this thing's existence. And also, one guy just starts screaming, kill the lights, shut them off, stop, kill the lights. And the driver grinds to a halt, shuts down the lights, and a full squadron just comes soaring overhead on the way to the big battle. There's 24 of these things, and nobody sees us because we're just sitting there quietly shitting our pants in darkness.
fair enough. So over your first 6 hours, you guys knock 200 miles off the trip.
Okay.
And that's it. That's a casual.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just counting as a basic casual kind of trip. So you guys knock them 200 miles off, and it is starting to get dark out.
Okay.
You guys are not in full-on vampire territories. You're okay. You're just in a bit of a null zone, we'll call it. So you're getting someone to drive. You guys have the optic helmets and all sorts of stuff like that.
So are we looking through a viewport on this thing, or a view screen, or
It's
the
got,
head of the
it's
hatch?
got a fairly sizable panel that just has a flap comes down, and then it's got one of those button-down types.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Skeletor 301. Thanks, buddy. It's
Hey,
amazing.
we have
So-
some sort of fan base, it seems.
Skeletor, He-Man fan base.
That's awesome.
I'm okay with that.
I'll run with that.
Absolutely, nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, no, we just open basically a big thick windshield.
Yep.
Unless we button down, and then there's just a panel that slaps shut, and then you just have a little viewport to look through.
So,
But yeah, whoever's driving is wearing a multi-optic helmet with night vision on.
you guys see every once in a while. You guys see an APC or another small group. Sometimes you'll actually see SDC vehicles, just kind of basic old stuff that someone managed to cobble and keep together, just rolling along. I'm guessing you guys are ignoring a lot of contact just because fucking drive and go.
Yeah, we're on a tight schedule.
I figured as much. So you guys make it. Night starts dropping, so there's still just a crack of light on the horizon, but it is disappearing, and it is disappearing quickly. Driving with the night vision goggles, I'm gonna say there's no penalty to it, but I'm gonna say for every hour of driving, just because night vision doesn't usually give 3D vision, it just gives that kind of that green optic.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically you're driving split through a television screen, basically.
Yeah, so I mean, you can do it. I'll let you guys have just a basic pilot roll, and as long as you do that, how fast you guys going?
Through the night, I'd
Same.
say we're 45, no more than 60 miles an hour. We don't want
A
to
little
wreck.
bit slower.
Yeah, we don't want to wreck through this time. If we can maintain a steady pace, then I'm okay with that. If we're not going to be taxing our core to heat.
Okay, 45 to 60. Yeah, I'll let you we'll say, and you guys are going to push through drive the whole night.
I don't want to be stationary in vampire
No,
territory.
hell no.
Okay. So I'm going to say down here, I'm going to say there's 11 hours a night. So pretty reasonable. 13 hours of daylight, 11 hours a night. First roll, who's driving? Because you guys are going to start getting tired. You guys woke up at a good time this morning. And you're not going to be tired yet, but come around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, it's going to start being.
You take the first shift, I'll take the rest.
Okay,
Because I don't have to sleep.
that's true.
I can catch 3 hours of napping, and I'm good for another 3-4 days.
What
geez.
was our guest's name again?
Nice to meet you, Skeletor.
What was
Yeah,
our guest's
super
name
red
again? Glitter Boy.
Anders.
Anders.
He's probably been driving to this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys trusted him to drive this far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're all kind of awake and
So
keep an
we'll-
eye on things anyway.
We'll be fresh and ready to go. I made it 35.
There we
Oh,
go.
yeah,
Oh,
that's no
sweet.
problem. That's just to keep the trip nice and clean and
Buttery
any
smooth.
debris. And so yeah, so you managed to. Actually, I might even say every 2 hours. Every 2 hours is a fair piloting assessment of that. So that's 1 of 5 gone. And yeah, drive is actually so far it's fairly smooth. You're getting into some lightly treed areas. You're getting out of the kind of the messy, swampy jungle bush garbage
Oh,
that you guys were in before. Actually, you guys got into that about an hour ago. Now you're going into a little bit of a lighter treed area. You're getting out of the Florida. You're getting out of
Louisiana, more into the Texas.
so it's getting to be a little cleaner. Not super dry, not super whatever.
Mm.
There's still wildlife. There's still stuff you're seeing, but it's not bad. Who's taking second driving shift?
You still got second shift.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna. Those two have been rolling pretty good for me tonight, and I'm leery of using them again.
What is that? Oh, that's an 8.
Oh yeah. Again, super smooth, super clean.
There's all I left from that side.
Yeah, you'll definitely want to get rid of that stuff.
I'll retire that one for the rest of the night.
And you guys don't see any sniff of anything. Things seem to be getting a little more misty, a little more kind of foggy.
The music just getting more intense.
It did.
So I'm guessing you guys are probably going to slow down, stop, do a driver swap.
Yeah, man, I turned the music down a little bit on the deck. I'm like, oh man, it's the wrong track to be listening
This
to.
is
a vampire
this is
scare.
getting a little intense. This is not
Whose
good.
playlist is this? It's not even funny. This is like Michael Myers, track 1 of 18. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll swap them now.
Okay.
Juice your drive.
All right. So go ahead and make your first run at it.
29.
Oh yeah, you're doing pretty good. You guys, it's odd. You guys haven't seen very much, or you guys saw a fair bit of wildlife up to this point. You guys are seeing a little bit more at the moment. It's
Well, through the NVHs, there's just like glowing eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You guys see glowing eyes off the highway and stuff like that. And you said you guys are booking it at about 45.
Yeah, nobody's taking a run at us.
Nothing's taken.
We're pretty hardened target driving on these roads, especially if there's SDC vehicles running around.
Yeah.
We're a pretty hardened target.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, there's actually, it's really odd. There does seem to be a fair bit of wildlife in the area. Go ahead and make your second go, bud. Kelly's just
Freaking him out already. 43. Still
Oh, yeah.
good.
So you know what? You're driving along and it's getting weird. You see a pack of wolves up ahead, and you kind of swerve, pull out of the way. And you're like, "Shit! This is really weird. There's a lot more life here than I thought there was."
I'm loading my water shotgun.
Make sure the other one's loaded too.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much MDC does each wheel have?
60.
Okay. You guys feel the back end of the APC just kind of shrug and walk, and you're like, "What the fuck was that?" And it seems like it was from the left rear axle.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you don't have night vision, and you don't have rear view mirrors on this thing, but it seems like something took a hit at you.
Strange question.
Mhm.
So when I go intangible, I can go through things, right?
Yes, but if you go intangible, you are not running as fast as this thing.
Yeah, you're not moving at 45
Oh, I
miles
see.
an hour.
Okay.
So if you
Now,
go
you can
intangible,
stay
that's
inside of this, but if you go intangible and try and drop down on
I
the
was
ground
just
to see
thinking
what
of
this
sticking
is,
my head out.
yeah, if you want, you
there's
can.
viewports and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Is there?
So work on the radar. You didn't see anything on radar. As you look out the back, you see what looks to be about 3 wolves that are actually keeping pace with the truck, with the APC right now.
That's
And it seems as though they're nipping at the back wheel.
Oh, I will share that with.
Yeah, if that's what just nipped at us, I'm increasing speed.
Okay, so you're
If
pushing.
this
What are you
can-
pushing up to?
If this can like cause this to kind of go, oh, just by some wolves, those are not normal.
Do we have any guns?
There's several.
Should
Do you want to open a
hat?
hatch to shoot at them? I think at this point we're going to increase to 60 miles an hour.
So you're pushing up to 60 miles. So you start pushing up to 60 miles. You do notice that you start to take off on these things.
Yeah.
And they cannot keep up to 60.
Yeah, if they're not going to keep up to 60, I'm just going to keep going.
Okay. So you push her up to 60 and you start really kind of chugging along. The mist and everything seems to fade off into the distance, and right now, everything seems, for the most part, pretty okay, pretty decent. Oh, yeah.
Oh boy, Dean's looking for more books.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's all good. Just looking for a specific one.
It's the vampire book.
He's like, here we are. Extra player
I
demons.
No, it's the vampire book, so it'll be Greater Vampire Lord or something like that.
This is
Oh, there's another one.
This is just other things.
That's Skeletor.
I've never played a modern game before. Seems cool so far.
Oh, yeah. Imagine an LSD trip on top of Dungeons and Dragons where you can have a mech fighting dinosaur. Like, I want to have a T-Rex.
You can have a
that-
gargoyle in power armor fighting another gargoyle in a giant robot fighting a greater
T-Rex.
dragon.
Yeah.
Who has a T-Rex as a pet. And then have a Zikdik swarm over everyone and kill and eat everything.
and then have Cthulhu come in and just wreck everything anyways.
And then CS nukes it from orbit because.
Yes, exactly. The Rod of God. Bang!
Yeah.
make your unfortunate response.
Yeah. Well, with Cthulhu, or with Splissarinth and his crew, nuke it from orbit is the only option. Fucking kill it.
Or Splugor.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Splissrinth and his crew.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, oh god. He's
So like any
he's just
kind of
mad.
Splugorth. It doesn't have to be Splithrid. Just
Oh, yeah, no.
any Splugorth.
Any
Just
Splugorth.
kill it. Kill it now.
Yeah. This is the elder gods that you were told to be afraid of. So you managed to kind of scare that. Not scare. You managed to push
Pull
past
ahead,
it,
yeah.
and you get motoring in your APC, and you get really fucking pushing it. How long are you pushing it for?
Push it for an hour.
Okay.
See if we can make some miles on these guys.
There's a top hatch on this APC.
Yes,
correct?
there is, and a back hatch.
I'm gonna actually pop out the top hatch. Can I ride like just sitting at the top?
Well, I think
hatch?
popping out the top hatch, you can actually be sitting there behind the water gun.
Yeah, the big water cannon.
Perfect. That's where I'll be.
All right. So you're sitting behind a mega ass super soaker,
Yep.
ready to.
It's
Ready
basically like a.
We're talking like,
Like a
riot.
Fire
It's like a riot fire can. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing does ridiculous damage too. doesn't
Yeah. And it has 1,000 liter tanks attached to it too, so
it? Yeah.
Just pounded it.
so it can just keep firing. I
For a
want
very long time.
I want it to make sure if all else fails, we can defend
I
ourselves.
think you can do 200 full shots with that thing.
It might
Because I
be,
think it's like 10 liters per, or 10 gallons or whatever per blast.
Yeah, I
but
don't
it's,
remember, but I got 2 extra tanks put on, so
yeah, you guys have lots and lots of time to shoot with that thing.
make sure you're wearing your helmet, your multi-optic
Oh
helmet.
yeah, I was with the moment night fell.
Because you can get thermals and night vision through that, and so anything that's heat signature or anything that isn't.
Do vampires have a heat signature? if
No,
they're
they
undead?
don't. They
Didn't
do
think
not.
so.
They are corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
You're
all
scared
corpse
for
in the
so
fight.
many things.
Well, they fuck with. If you're using thermal optics, you don't see a damn thing. They will basically walk right up to you.
You're fucking nuked. So you push it. You push it for, you said 2 hours?
An hour.
Or an hour?
Actually, at this point, I might as well just push for a full 2 hours just to try and make some miles and then do my roll.
Okay.
35.
All right. You managed to just
It's really
keep
good
pushing.
tonight. I'm getting
Um,
nervous.
We got the pumped up music and everything. So it's just.
You've got combat music, which means your rolls are going to be good enough that you don't need combat. Which in Rifts is great. But
if you play medieval fantasy, then you'll probably like the Thursday or Friday or Saturday games. Well, not Saturday. Thursday or Friday games.
and we're looking at bringing another weekday game with my Camarina if we can find one more player for 2E.
Yeah,
2E for life.
So yeah, another 2E game coming, but Thursday, every Thursday,
I've done with 2E.
and
I
every
don't-
other
I don't
Friday is
expect
D&D
anyone to.
5E.
I've been done with 2E for like 15 years. I'm good.
It's all good. It's just because I've got everything memorized and I do all the math upstairs. So
Yeah, honestly, it's fun to play with Patty because he knows
You
2E
just
so
do it.
well. Yeah, he just like.
I've actually got in our Camarina game, the one that we used to put online, but we decided we wanted to keep it for us because it's our personal thing.
Yeah.
I've got all the character sheets and I have all the stuff memorized and I just, what'd you roll? 15. Your Thaco's 19. You hit an AC of 4 done. Okay.
And then
Roll.
he takes care of all the damage and everything.
They
So all we roll
want to
is,
keep it meta free.
D20.
Roll your basic dice.
I like rolling damage sometimes, only when damage is good. But, you know,
I remember
Nice, man.
going through second.
Yeah.
I remember going through second E, and then going by
Yeah, that's
what
awesome.
the weapons
Nice.
were and stuff like that. I remember my buddies used to always use the Nodachi all the time, and then
1d20 damage.
yeah, 1 die 20 damage, and then we actually looked it up, what a Nodachi was. And they didn't realize Nodachi's 7 feet long.
It's essentially a pole arm, and it will have the blades like a.
The blade is 6 feet long with a 2-foot handle on it.
Yeah.
It's basically a katana that's used for killing horses.
Yeah, the horse
Yeah.
sword. That's the name
It's
of it.
it's
too, if I
literally
remember.
it's
that's
really
the
for
horse sword, the Glondell.
that's for carving through armor.
And
That
for
looks like the
carving
Green
horses.
Dragon.
That's for killing horses.
That's Guan Yu's weapon.
Yeah, just think of that's the Chinese variant though.
Yeah.
The Nodachi is basically a katana
Yeah, it's
that's
for
7
retarded.
feet long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
After that, they weren't using it anymore. They're like 1 die 20 damage is fun, but fuck.
But yeah, it's you get into the flavor of the game, and you're like, no, it's just I could not see wielding this thing. Not in any way, shape, or form.
Not in a dungeon or even in a hallway.
You're done. So things do seem to be getting a little more misty, but it's patchy and splotchy and everything. Everything seems to be okay. So you managed to push through for 2 hours at 60 miles an
a little
hour.
more misty.
Not
I was like,
Speaking of a little more misty, why don't we get another sweep of the radar? See
Yeah,
what's going
that's a
on.
good idea.
I've been consistent. Well,
yeah, she's been consistently doing it, and she's been thrown down. Yeah,
are you
nothing.
rolling for me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nothing really big. I mean,
okay.
well, I mean, you said you were, so I was
Yeah.
just rolling
Yeah.
for it on the side.
No, that's fine.
You don't happen to really see anything that large. I mean, every once in a while you guys come across what looks to be, some little small furry creatures on the road. Whether you avoid them or not, I don't know.
is the juicer driving?
Yes, the juicer is now driving.
Probably not avoiding them at all.
If it's small and
Boom, splat,
small and
boom, splat.
furry, yeah. Street pizza time.
Yeah.
We gotta feed the wildlife somehow.
Meanwhile, the fallen cosmonaut. Oh no, the bunny.
Bunny will kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Just wait until you meet a bunny that kills you, and it'll be like, fuck.
No,
you.
you'll know it's the wrong bunny when the juicer hits it with the ABC and the ABC does boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
The fuck was that? That was a bunny. Drive faster.
Trust me, and I will be honest with you. One of my favorite things for dragons is they love metamorphized forms.
Oh, yeah.
And a dragon, metamorphosized, is a dragon,
You guys,
no matter what.
do you remember the Twilight Zone, the movie? Do you ever see that?
No, I
No, with the gremlin on the wing of the plane.
Oh, I think I
jumping,
remember that.
stuff. Yeah, there was one part of it where this kid creates he can create anything that he wants and traps this lady inside the house, and he creates this bunny rabbit, and it's the most terrifying rabbit you've ever seen in your life.
It is ridiculous to the point where it would give a kid nightmares. It did give a kid nightmares. It gave me nightmares.
Awesome. So, yeah, I mean, legitimately, you're driving along, and I mean, your tires are pretty beefy and pretty nasty.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
How to spot
Oh, yeah.
a polymorph
Yeah.
dragon.
So there's the rabbit from.
The hell?
Holy fuck.
It's freaking scary.
Right? I watched that movie when I was 11. I'm I'm gonna go wet my bed now.
Sleep for a week.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, actually seeing a couple wolves on the road, you hit those wolves, and it is the whoof whoof, and you kind of, someone takes a look out the back, and you see that the wolf gets up.
Yeah.
And
Get run over by 9 tons of mechanized war machine, and it's yeah, no.
It's like that scene in Lilo and Stitch where he gets hit by 3 18-wheelers in a row.
and he gets up.
Pretty much.
That's essentially it. And you guys know that vampires do turn into wolves, so you guys are seeing some of the wolves and stuff.
Approaching the vehicle?
Oh, one was out in the road. He ran over it.
Yeah.
The vehicle took a boom,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I'm ready with that water cannon because if anything gets too close to the
Yeah,
vehicle,
as I
it's
said,
definitely gonna get
I'm maintaining 60 miles an hour at this point.
Oh yeah. So and now we are on number 5. You guys are starting to finally get a little closer to day. Anyone who's inside, you guys are now talking 24 hours of prolonged activity.
Mhm.
So if anyone wants to rest, if anyone does not want to rest, you guys tell me.
I'll climb back down in and rest actually.
Okay, so you lock her up. You keep an eye on the radar. You don't see anything on radar.
You should be taking your sleep rest.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
So
I'll
you're
also
taking
try and nap.
at least 4 hours of rack time.
Okay, and make your last roll.
Mr. I don't need to sleep for 3 days.
Hey, just out of curious,
Yes,
Skeletor, let us know if that video's coming through choppy. I'm getting a red signal over here, so I'm kind of curious as to whether or not we're coming through smooth.
19.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, up.
My dice.
What is that? Is that like a...
I have a deformed eye.
Wow. Push through the cervix a little too hard.
Oh man. I had to hold back that sneeze because I was going to blow my brains out. Whew. All right. Damn. Holy shit.
Always good when the DMs start now.
We're all gonna die. Probably.
All right. It's getting. You guys know you're about an hour from wake up time. You three are.
Well, I'm just like passed right out in the back.
And
I was gonna reply.
it's been buffering for like a fraction of a second from time to time.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, thanks for checking for us.
This is fairly soon.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all went to nap. You got nothing. You're not looking at radar. You're just driving.
Yeah.
Make a piloting check.
Oh no.
Reed is just sleeping there hugging the
This
shotgun.
is gonna be with a -10.
What?
We're all gonna
That's
die.
gonna matter.
Oh shit.
91.
Okay. Out of nowhere, you guys see what looks to be this massive fucking bat. Gore and everything dripping from its mouth. Comes down and fucking hammers the side of your APC. APC
Thank goodness
tips.
I went back inside.
APC tips, and this thing is standing outside.
So we go skidding down the road on our side. We remember to bring the jacks this
What?
time, right?
What the hell?
Oh, what the? I'm not sure if you can see that on the screen, but that's an evil ass bat for sure.
That's like what, a
It
good
is
15, 20 feet tall?
and we're not on our side.
Oh, it's easily 15, 20 feet. It hammers you, puts you on your side, and then this thing disappears.
Oh, no way. It just did a favor for whatever's coming to us ground base right now.
Shit.
We either got to get the APC upright and moving like now, or we got to get out of this APC and get ready for whatever's coming right now.
Well, we have some weapons, but that big gun is on the roof.
Yeah.
It's mounted. I can rip it off. But it does
I'm just
not-
bailing out. I'm not even waiting. I'm bailing out and looking for a way to get that APC up off its side.
Okay,
You
so
said
you
we can
take a
make
look.
40-foot dome with my force fields, correct?
40 square feet total area, which is, I mean, it's 4 foot by 10 foot, or that'd be 5 foot by 8 foot. It's a pretty sizable area.
But not enough to cover the whole APC.
No.
Not yet. As you go up in levels, it'll
Yeah.
increase that. But for now, it's not going to be enough to dome over the entire APC. That being said, right now, you have no idea where the fuck this thing went.
I'm gonna go intangible and just kind of keep an eye.
Is it still dark?
It is dark, but it is lighting towards twilight right now. Like, you guys know that in about an hour, you guys are gonna have full daylight. So the likelihood of this, how do you put it? The likelihood of this being a vampire attack is pretty low because they want time to get
It's
back to a
almost daylight,
hovel.
yeah.
So they're just the sheer knowledge of things, and all three of you are fucking woken up and tossed around.
Yeah.
But it's just the fear and terror of knowing, fuck, we are sitting ducks here for tonight if we can't get this. If we can't get this APC up.
I'm almost thinking it would be better to hunker down for the
I was
next
just
hour.
gonna say if we can lock down the.
My only concern is vampires are NBC beings, and if we let them surround us, we are just as hosed as anybody else. Because this thing might be sealed, or it might not be sealed indefinitely.
Doesn't matter, sealed, it's on its
The
side.
APC didn't take a lot of damage. It just took 10 MDC of damage
Okay.
from being hammered by this thing.
Where's the glitter boy now?
The glitter boy mech is inside. It's
Not
inside
anymore.
the
You
unit.
ain't pop the back boot and get your ass out there.
He's not in it right now. Remember, he was driving for the first shift
Oh,
before.
Yeah,
So
the-
we're gonna have to get
both,
him back in.
both the armor suits are ratchet strapped in cargo
Oh
space.
shit.
Well, at least a ratchet
Even
strap.
even mechanical lifting capacity of that thing is not going to be enough to get you guys hoisted. That
Them
being
together?
said, both of who together? Both of
The two machines.
the SAMAS does not
Has
give
no-
augmented power.
Oh, okay.
And
Even with the thrusters?
With the thrusters, you might be able to get a little bit of boost lift
it might
on it. but-
crush itself trying to do that, though.
Fair. Yes.
Stand beside it and press X.
Well done. Well done. I'll give you that one.
So, oh hey, for anyone who's here, Kelly, do we have a dice bag?
We do.
If you can guess who rolls the first crit tonight,
We haven't had a crit yet.
we haven't even had a crit. We haven't had an attack roll or anything really yet. It is a free set of dice for you, bro.
And they're green and blue. Well, yeah. Not even no shipping, handling, nothing. We just send them to you if you can guess which of the characters out of the party of 4 that is here, or the glitter boy, or the creature that we may end up fighting.
Yeah, you wanna
You guess
play
which
against
one of
us?
those gets a crit first.
So, I mean, there's lots of different potential options, but I mean, you guys also know that you guys are way ahead of schedule right now.
Yeah. Are we on a roadway?
You guys are on a road right
Is it
now.
like hard pack underneath us, like pavement kind of situation?
It's what little patches you can find of pavement, because so much of the world's just, it's still fucked up. There's going to be little patches of pavement here and there, but a lot of it is going to be, I'll say, fuck, you guys found some pavement. You are on pavement.
Nice.
If that's the case, I might try the old fashioned things. I know we got 6 wheels that stick out further than everything. See if I can just turn hard in to the side that we're on, and see if the tires can grip enough that they can just kind of pull us back under.
Okay.
I mean, they're
So
big tires, so-
offload everybody we can so it's as light as possible while doing that.
Yeah, and actually, we should be able to get to the front, shove it the one way, while somebody's at the back, and just kind of, fulcrum point at
Because
the
they're
back
basically
there.
just trying to turn the wheels in like this so
Right.
they actually can grab and then drag it over. And
So the
I've
bunch
seen
of us
vehicles do
should be
that.
able to push it, help nudge
can
it. in
try.
position.
next step is start digging, which
On pavement.
on pavement's going to be more fun.
That's okay.
We got laser
Shove that
swords and shit like
yeah.
that. We can make that happen. Just fuck up the little patch of pavement we got though.
I'm just thinking, my
okay.
force fields, when they come to existence, they're just there. There's no, expanding them or anything.
No, and
Okay.
unfortunately, you don't have Create Force Construct, which if you had Create Force Construct, you would be able to make a shape or a design or something.
What about magic shield? Is it?
When you create the magic shield, it's just going to form a disc on your arm that you can
Oh.
give to someone else if you want.
So a cantrip then. You have to go with fate and pull out like before. Tipped vehicle, Halo Logic tipped vehicle fix. Oh man, there's a game I have not played, Halo. I've heard so much about it for years.
Oh.
I have not played a single time.
I stopped playing at Reach.
I heard it's an amazing story, the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah, I've watched lots of the cinematic aspect of it. I understand all of that, but yeah, I stopped playing after Reach. I got
1,
Reach
2,
the
3.
collector's edition, so I got the big thing,
Mhm.
and I haven't played Halo 4 or Halo 5.
You're not missing much, in my opinion.
No,
No.
I watched the story aspect, but I think the story was still well done. But I heard the gameplay was a little lacking.
So
Kind of.
he thinks that Lynette's going to roll the first crit.
Okay,
All right.
if it keeps us from getting killed, I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
1 through 3, probably my favorite shooter game trilogy of all time. Reach, the icing on the cake, for sure. 4, 5, it just didn't live up to the
39.
predecessors.
So whatever minuses you want for that.
Wow. And I was going to throw 25 and 25. You know what? We'll say you guys had some of the supernaturals out there, like the supernatural strength guy out there, just kind of levering, and you guys were doing everything you could, and you do manage to get it back onto its wheels.
Loading her up right quick. Loading it up.
Does it do any more damage doing that?
I'm gonna say even at 9
Flip
tons,
on its side.
dropping on on the tires. Those tires are designed for that kind of abuse.
Okay.
They're designed for MDC abuse.
They're designed to take like hits from missiles and shit like that.
I
so
get
they're
I
bouncing
climb up to
around.
the top and check the water cannon over.
I bet you one of them's
Well, yeah, because they were saddled on it, eh?
Yeah, one on either side. So I bet you one's crushed.
91, no.
Oh,
It's actually fucking fine. It didn't damage the water tank. Well, they're MDC tanks, right?
they are MDC tanks, and there's 2 of them.
So yeah, so they both managed to survive.
Sweet.
It's impressive.
Finally able to play Reach, by the way, with Halo MMC got on Steam. Unfortunately, that's the only one on the collection. They Reach on PC and eventually the rest. I'm looking forward to it. I think I might actually try like this spring. Try to get into Halo, starting with the first one.
The first one was good. The multiplayer was fantastic because everyone really got into it.
Yeah.
Master Chief Collection, they're kind of releasing the games in chronological order, with Reach being the one that kind of kicks off.
It's called the
Released
Master Chief
later.
Collection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
released later in the series, but it kind of shows the prequel to the
On
actual
PC?
trilogy. Yes, it's on Steam.
Okay.
And Reach was the first one that actually gave you full customization.
Yes, true.
What if I have it on Xbox?
All right. So you guys managed to get it back up and on its wheels.
Okay,
Throughout
let's
the night, you managed
do
to
a quick. Let's do a quick check of it. Make sure we're not leaking something vital or.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little fly around and see if we're being tailed or observed or anything. Because I feel like that bat was
Right up to the
after us for a reason.
It'd be funny when you go shh and the bat just
Yeah. Flying morsel.
Didn't that show up on the radar?
It would have.
Okay, so I'll just keep an eye on the radar then.
Okay, so you keep an eye on the radar. Legitimately, you don't see anything else on the radar.
no bleach, no
Yes.
screech, no crease.
Creeps are all inside.
Yeah.
Checking shit.
Or
Checking
driving.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys managed to get her back on the road. You get her loaded up real fast, like fucking hurry
Yeah.
now.
We'll leave the glitter boy in his armor for right now. We'll get him out of there in an hour or so. But yeah, I want back on the road and.
And you guys are now 510 miles on your journey. You guys are 210 left.
Okay. Let's. I want to drive till full day, so we'll drive for 2 more hours,
And then stop for break.
and then we'll stop and let everything cool down.
Okay, so you just pin it, or you
I'm gonna go maintain our 60 mile an hour.
okay maintaining 60 miles an hour. You guys,
Isn't pinning it just going to
Following-
make a longer cooldown period?
Well, our cooldown period's required one way or another.
Is it
we
the
would-
same length every time though?
Well, usually it's for operational to cool down.
Yeah.
At this point, we've been keeping it pretty easy. Like only when things started getting a little hairy did we really pick it up.
Okay.
But we might not require a full 12-hour cooldown because we've been keeping it easy. But I'd like to make sure everything's nice and prepped. Go through our equipment, make sure everything's happy before we go to this meeting.
Gotcha.
Because we could be going home with just a big stack full of cash. We could be running away from missiles. We don't know yet. Hopefully it's the cash option and not the missile option.
Yeah, that's rare. That's rare. For her to be in here with this much
Aye.
people and her ears pointed like normal. That's pretty rare.
Mhm.
It's good.
all right. So you guys pin it for another hour. Daylight breaks, and you guys are fine.
Ooh, this is big one.
And you guys all breathe a bit of a sigh of relief, knowing that for the most part, the vampires are now going to be asleep.
So how much sleep did we get last night?
Fuck. You guys
After
made
getting rolled.
you guys made it about 45 minutes before you guys got jarred up, and I'm guessing you had a hard time getting back to sleep after that, because who the fuck can sleep after a 15-foot tall fucking bat flips a 9-ton APC?
I've seen some shit. I sleep fine.
Now that it's daylight, I'm going to curl up and sleep.
Yeah.
Same.
Alright, so you curl up, you start getting sleep. How long are you guys resting for? Can
4
it drop like a
hours?
6 to 8 hour kind of thing?
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh yeah, we still have 14 hours to our deadline.
Yeah, you guys have about 14 hours till deadline.
Sleep great.
Yeah, we sleep for 8, and then we have 6 hours of travel before we get there, so we could have We're only going 200 miles. No, less than that.
570, so 180 150 miles left.
Yeah, so we could do the last 6 hours from there at 30 miles an hour if we want to, and we'll arrive right on time.
Okay.
So you guys gonna take it super slow the rest of the way?
No, we'll it's okay.
60.
We can show up early. We can show up early. It doesn't hurt our feelings.
All right. So you guys rest for the 8 hours.
I'm just gonna sit on the roof of the APC and keep watch.
Actually, it's actually.
Why is everybody keep saying that?
You guys rest. There's a couple of vehicles that pass by. Everything seems actually pretty legit and pretty cool and quiet.
Nice.
You wake them up after about 8 hours.
Yeah.
Get off your asses. Let's fucking roll.
Mm-hmm.
And how fast you guys gonna actually push it to?
We'll do 45 miles an hour.
Okay, so that should get you there in about
4 hours.
3.5.
That's
Okay.
By this
And a
time, I will
45
set up on the top, not the. Well, the water can is not going to be useful for anything out here.
No, but I got an NG202 you could use.
Oh, okay. I'll set up
Keep
there
your
for
own
that.
sensory equipment again.
Okay, keep an eye on sensor.
Everyone gets while we're driving. Everyone gets to
Well, I do have
utilize the
J12.
kitchenette and whatnot. Have food and.
And I'm actually going to use my J12 and just be scanning through the scope and just like.
At this point, this is basically turning into a heavily armored Winnebago.
Yeah.
Hey, we built it specifically for that.
It says we
This
break-
kind of shit.
break through Uranus right on the back.
So you guys managed to get there, and
I'm gonna paint this thing brown and call it Chocolate Thunder. Just
Nice. Chocolate Thunder.
and when you guys shoot from the cannon, is that chocolate rain?
depends if we're using the flechette rounds or not.
Chuck's love oven.
Okay, so you guys reach the target zone.
The fucking sleep after 15 minutes on Netflix and 9:10 APC. A la carte can.
He probably flipped the APC.
Yeah.
No, that was Alucard's little fucking minion. Oh. Alright, so you guys get there, you radio them in, looking for Captain Bronze or Captain
Yeah, we're coming.
Captain
Don't shoot
Durban?
us.
Captain Gerbert. Or
Gerbert?
Gerbert. Yeah, Gerbert.
Gerbil.
I'm going to say Captain Gerbil. Hey, we're looking for Captain Gerbil here.
Yeah.
You
You
hear
cannot
a,
be surprised.
you hear a concerted pause on the other end of the
Secretary
radio.
Waffle.
It's a good thing he's not here to hear that.
Yeah, I'm giving you a nickname for us.
Hear what? Isn't that his name? We were under the impression that was his name.
The other option is Captain Protected Butt Monkey.
Oh.
I knew it was a bad idea making the juicer be the face.
Let's not
She
piss
says-
him off.
She says Captain Gerbert is not here. You'll be actually speaking with Levi Crawford.
And does Levi Crawford have a rank or some sort of higher up?
Captain?
Yes, ma'am. He is a captain. Or yes, sir. He is a captain as well.
Is it ma'am?
Yeah.
Really?
Big pecs. Confusing pecs.
At least you do have really big.
I just have the whole thing of that dude in the gaming store. It's ma'am. I'm like, okay. It wasn't awkward enough to begin with. Let's make it awkward now.
Exactly.
So we're taking the glitter boy out of the back. Here's a shiny new glitter boy.
Well,
Shiny used
Only
glitter
like
boy.
Shiny used glitter boy.
he's mostly shiny. It counts.
So you guys get there. There's a fairly large compound. It's walled.
Oh,
That's
we're
inside.
meeting them in one of their fortresses.
Yes.
Okay.
not much we can say. Yeah, here's do it now. Once we're in there, we're like, feels like we intimidated in here.
You guys come in and you see it's almost in like military organization. You see the rows of tanks that are currently unused, the rows of APCs that are currently
I'll
unused.
take one of those and one of those.
Yeah, I'm
and
literally
one of
picturing the
those.
battlefield from like Star Wars Episode 1.
Oh, no one should ever have to picture the
I didn't say
from
anything
Star
about
Wars
Jar
episode
Jar
one.
Binks. Nothing about Jar Jar Binks.
You also see around the perimeter wall and around the areas, you guys see actually water cannons mounted on the walls. You
Oh,
guys
so they
see,
clearly have. They're clearly close enough for vampire incursions.
yes, they're clearly close enough, and not only that, they seem thoroughly prepared.
Oh yeah, it's a hard point. Yeah, I'm sure the vampires go after it regularly.
How often you
Lots
guys,
of flesh.
I asked the guy there, I was like, how often you guys see vampire raids?
Less frequently after we annihilate a large group, but we still see it probably once a week.
Wow. That's brave.
Better than being in CS territory.
Bloodsuckers one way, bloodsuckers the other way. Pick your poison.
Yeah, bloodsuckers one way, dick suckers the other way.
You're not wrong on either of those counts.
All right, well, we park it, and
All right.
I guess the face will go and talk to the.
Yeah. Well, you guys have two legitimate, couple not legitimate faces. But that being said, he actually you see him come out of the large building, and he begins approaching. You guys get the leave the glitter boy in, or you guys let him?
Well,
He's going to jump into the suit and pull her out.
I don't think we could really stop him if we wanted to by this point.
Yeah, no, we've basically delivered them. So at this
Yeah.
point, is finding out if we're getting paid the full amount that we were promised, or if they're going to try and jip us now.
Be awesome to hop in the suit before you went to get in. Just close the suit up. No, go get your suit. It's right in the back there.
I think you would have done that hours ago.
Yeah, gets in there. It's just like, what the?
So, he the glitter boy jumps out of the back of the unit.
Suspension immediately springs up like 5 inches.
Pretty much.
Hey, well, guess what? We'll get better fuel mileage now.
He's like, fair enough. That's our end of the bargain. We'll go inside and we'll get you a cred stick for payment. So I hear you had some other equipment that you were looking at pawning off.
That's
Ah,
probably
in
the
fact.
operative word there, yes.
Well,
The rocket pack? Is that what you're thinking?
the Samus.
Samus? Oh, yeah, right.
Because we gave the rocket packs to
Samus minus a head.
Right.
No, I had
We got
Frank.
the
I had
helmet.
Frank stick it back
Frankenstein.
together.
Oh, okay.
Costs like
20 grand.
yeah,
Right,
20
20
grand for to make it stick together and kind of work. They can do the other repairs.
And it's the newer model.
Yeah, this is
It's
the
latest. It's latest and
Current model.
greatest.
So yeah, I'd tell them it's
Arguably.
strapped in inside if you want to take a gander at it.
Fair enough. He
Or if you want, I can just drag it out here.
sure if you want.
Tink, I'm already giving you a hand. Help
Yep.
drag
Just
that thing out.
pull it
Either
up.
one of you two could lift it without a problem.
Yeah, it only weighs what
350 pounds.
kilos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not very
It's
much.
lightweight.
Oh, yeah.
high mobility.
I hear you say that outside. I'm already like unstrapped it and hauling it out. I'm like, there you go. Boom, set it down.
So you bring it out.
I get the idea of like the suit's rigid, just carrying over his shoulder like one of those cardboard cutouts.
Well, it's power armor, so it would stick itself together.
Mhm.
So yeah, it would work like dragging just a really heavy dude.
Yeah, pretty much. He looks at it and he's like, "Well, chest saw a bit of damage. I think we got an armorer who might be able to make that work."
I think that chest plate only took 30.
Yeah.
No,
Uh,
it was just the
No,
one.
I was 30.
he took
I was 30.
he took a hefty shot to his chest.
Oh, that's right. I did have to shoot him once in the chest.
Yeah, you did a called shot for the wing and you missed.
Yeah,
and you
that's
hit
what
him.
it was. Yeah,
You hit him for like I think it was
30 or 40.
Well, that was the shot that dropped.
that was the 1d6 times 10 plus 10.
Yeah,
So
and then it was the grenade that blew his head off.
Right.
he's like, "Yeah, He's like, 1 million. 1 million's a little bit rich. Considering some of the other repairs I gotta make, and I gotta play with this thing's paint job and try and hide it from CS. And you guys know right now you guys are close to the you're close to the CS Empire around this area. Like, I mean, they're just outside of CS.
We took
Lone Star.
a lot of risk bringing this thing back here.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to take a hell of a lot of risk flying this thing through territory to get it out to the west. I'll give you 750.
Chuck?
Means that's a cool mill for us, plus 20 grand.
Oh, I'm okay with that.
So, as long as the rest of you guys are okay with that.
Works for me.
Because yeah, I did put like 30 NDC worth of damage to the Glitter Boy's chest.
And the Glitter Boys, I mean, legitimately, the Glitter Boy's going to need a hell of a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Because that thing, it took a fucking tactical
Yeah, but that was not our fault.
Oh, no, that wasn't your guys' fault. But either way, he's like, yeah, I'm thankful that you got her back to us. We're gonna have to put some heavy repairs on this thing. We were hoping to see it back in better condition. Although you probably didn't have much to do with that.
Like that when I found it, I swear.
At this point, you're
Even
lucky
the
to have gotten
blueprints.
it back at all.
It had more to do with the Glitter Boy pilot making it back in one piece.
Hey, if he wouldn't have told him about a cave, the fucking Death Head would have picked him up on radar.
Oh, yeah.
Easy peasy.
Just
And they would have. Well, they wouldn't have even had to do that. The fucking two Sama suits in open air would have picked them apart in a couple of rounds.
So when you guys saw our equipment, our downed equipment there, did you guys do anything to mar up logos or anything like that?
Didn't really have time.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we torched both of the Braddock's Bad Boys logos that were on the two big lots. There was only one that was even legible.
I know for sure we
Because
defaced.
you carved the one up with your sword.
Yeah,
Oh, right. Forgot about that.
yeah, I know we defaced at least one of them like completely.
Fair enough. Well, thanks for that little bit. So how long you guys been in business?
Let me count the hours.
Yeah, looks at my watch.
Long enough to know better.
Yeah, young enough to do it again.
Without any urging.
Yeah.
So what kind of shit are you guys playing in?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Nothing really specific.
Some of the hottest shit in the frying pan. What did you have in mind?
Oh, if we ever need anything, every once in a while we contract work out.
Should we give them our radio details?
Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah, just give them our radio details and just let them know that if anything comes up.
From where I can assume you guys are from, we every once in a while we hit the Golden Age weaponsmiths. We do a bit of business on that side of things. If we have any problems and if we have any need for assistance, if we give you guys a call, that'd be fair.
Compensation's fair. We'll always come running.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the record, we have no heavy ordnance. We do not have any robots.
Says you.
We're
Heavy
fair.
ordnance 1, heavy ordnance 2.
We still punch in the next week. Doesn't make
Yeah.
heavy ordnance.
Yeah.
We're fairly mobile, long range, or medium short range mostly.
However, that said, if you present us with the right equipment to do the right job, there's probably not many jobs we won't take
I
on.
believe what my
Yeah,
colleagues
we're
are
all,
trying
we're all
to
pretty
say
stupid enough to do
is
that.
that we're dumb enough to get paid for doing things that we should know better. And
And
like
lucky
it-
enough to
Hey,
survive
you're not
it.
supposed to tell them that.
Yeah.
And
It's
we're
in the
mobile
flyer.
enough
Yeah.
to get around and low key enough to fly under the radar for some of the heavy hitters out here if you want something done under the table.
Usually
Oh,
smart enough
everything's
to
under
get
the
your
table, boy.
Yeah. Usually smart enough to get your shit out without uncovering who's paying us.
Well, main thing is recovery and reconnaissance. I can't send a troop like we did to meet you guys the first time normally to go and deal with little shit. If I need help for something like that, I can give you a call. As long as I know what you're equipped to do.
Yeah, just give them our number.
Fair enough.
867-5309.
Bad.
Yeah.
For a good time call.
Yeah. Does it not say that on the bumper sticker?
No, it says Chocolate Thunder.
Yeah.
That is it. I break for vampires.
Yeah.
So he's pretty good with you. He's giving you fair compensation. Potentially a little less than what you guys would have liked, but
Speaking of which, how do you feel about night's accommodation? Chuck may want to grab us part here and there, or how's the hospitality here? Let's see what we can get away with. I mean, we just want to stay the night. Bit of food, bit of lodging,
That way we can
See if there's any spare bolts or anything that they might be willing
Spare
to part with.
bolts? Just the random boom gun go missing.
Yeah, that's right.
Gee, I wonder who that could have been caused by.
well, just outside. If you guys want to head another 20 miles, Wichita Falls is not far. You're in CS territory, but just inside. You might find another small community nearby that might be a little more accommodating to
Randoms.
drifters.
Whoa. For the term contract killers.
tell them Lou sent you. They'll probably be pretty decent to you if you're not inside CS.
Make a note of that. Actually, I'll make a note of that. Lou.
That's a good idea. So what was the town name?
Wichita Falls.
Was Lewis sent us?
Lou, yeah. He's like, it's not far. There's a bit of DB and alien presence, some other weird shit around, but for the most part, CS will kill that shit long before you fucking see it.
It's not like we're carrying super hot contraband around in our back seat anymore, so why not?
The only thing that might be even close is the mini missiles. So I think plasma's okay.
Well,
Yeah,
we
plasma's
already
fine.
scraped the serial numbers off of those, didn't
What
we?
the mini missiles are back with what's her face? We didn't bring them with us.
No, that's
they're-
the small.
The
That's
small
the short range.
Yeah.
Oh, the ones we
missiles.
actually took out of those
Yeah.
pods?
Yeah,
Put
those
them
ones
in our-
are
put them in
loaded
our
Yeah,
right
those
now.
are CS weaponry, right?
Yes,
They're
those are
just-
CS.
But they're just
Standard.
generic generic mini missiles.
So
she
they're
just
not bad.
she just wiped the CS serial number off next
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, then I guess we pack up and we'll get our asses back on the road. Are we going to head to Wichita Falls or are we heading back to base?
We can do either
I'd
or.
say-
We can hit Wichita Falls and see if there's anything in the area we can
Yeah.
just kind of hit up on our way back.
Because you guys, I'll consider it as if you did 3 hours of driving, so you've technically got 9 hours of available time.
But how long is it till nightfall?
Well, right now it's actually early days, so
Yeah, we're
legitimately
before
you guys are. It's like fucking 10 o'clock.
Well, fuck, we can make it to Wichita Falls, figure out what's going on, and have time enough.
Well,
to...
that and now that we're not running anything hot, we can just cut straight through CS territory now too.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
The worst thing we got to do is get sniffed by some dog boys, maybe.
Well, see the way you said it, instead of I didn't read that as the man eating a Twinkie. I was reading that as the man eating Twinkie, and this is riffs. That shit could fucking happen.
Yeah. In fact, you could be attacked by a 20-foot tin Twinkie round with an energy weapon.
You can hit a 20-foot Twinkie, and then all it'll do is nuke it.
Yeah.
Nuke it, and it'll be warm on you.
Exactly. So yeah, so
Wichita Falls it is.
you
Yeah,
had
we
to-
can go hit there, see if we just.
Hey, what does the APC run on? Fuel of some sort.
There's nuclear power.
Nuclear power, so that's good for 5,000 years kind of thing.
20 years.
20 to 25.
Okay, cool.
You just gotta let the works cool down if you run it hot for a while.
Let's transform and roll out.
The question is, do we want to stay in Wichita Falls overnight and try and bootleg it back all in one day, or are we just going to go right through CS
That
territory?
all depends for me on what we find in Wichita Falls. If there's
Fair
trouble,
enough.
then I'm not staying. And
Well, at this point, we'll make sure we get our million credit chip,
He gives you the 1,000,000 credit stick.
and then 20 plus 20K.
Yeah, plus 20K.
nice.
There you go. 1.02 million.
Mm-hmm. So you guys have that. You head
Do we
towards
fire
Wichita.
off any of the water cans? I don't think we let any one of those rip off. Okay.
No.
Sure.
Nope.
Alright, so you head up to Wichita Falls. There's it's a reasonable community. I mean, you're talking about 8,000 to 10,000 people.
Okay.
There is an MDC wall on it, so
Are they,
it's a
I'm assuming they're nowhere nearly as equipped as the other group is.
no. I mean, you're talking a fully equipped mercenary bunker of a mercenary troop that's like 3,000 strong.
Like, is it an MDC wall I can punch through? Or...
Someone else, nice. Hey,
Hey, Kelly Cam. What's up? Welcome to the show.
Howdy, old friend.
so
Yeah.
inside, as soon as you guys are wanting to head inside, they're like, okay, you want to pass into the walls, drop any MDC weapons, check them in.
I am an MDC weapon.
You're not supposed to tell them that.
Damn it.
They know that. No, I'm just asking. I'm not like actually telling him like, hey, I am. What is he gonna do? Confiscate me?
Might not let you in.
I'm not really mentioning what I am to anybody out here because last I checked, there's people with dogs and stuff like that running around. That
You guys, there's no sniffer right now at the walls, like at the outside wall. It doesn't seem like it's that heavily guarded or heavily
This is like
watched.
the boonies of CS.
So we have to turn in like
It's getting close to the just the outskirts. I'd call it like a suburb. So they're a little softer, but it's not a whole hell of a lot. It's not super accommodating for real freaks.
so I literally have to give up every weapon I have
Except the water pistol.
except the water. I don't have a water pistol.
Please don't take my super soaker.
So let's keep
Would
it super.
the sword integrated into my arm, like when it's retracted, it's inside there, that wouldn't be obvious to them at the gate, right?
Yeah, well.
It will be. Essentially, should you pull out and use any MDC weapons in the city, that will be immediate cause for detainment and
execution.
Maybe.
So does that mean
depends if
we
you kill
can
depending on how bad you do. Like if you fuck up the city, because a lot of buildings won't take a lot of hits from heavy stuff.
Yeah, we just say, whoa, we're not here to fuck things up. We're here to just.
No one ever is, but in a bar fight, no one ever gives a shit either.
Yeah, I don't plan on attending a bar. Scum and villainy.
I'm going to the bar.
Yeah, I understand.
So
And I might as well just go to the bar naked, and I can still kill everyone in the room.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you'll kill them all right after the blindness sets in.
I am not that pasty white.
Yeah.
I don't think I can poke anyone in the eye from here.
I was thinking of going to the bar until you mentioned going naked.
Yeah.
I'm not going now.
There might be another one.
It's like, whoa, is that dude naked or is somebody casting Globe of Daylight? Yeah.
Yes is the answer.
So there's a couple of hotels, there's a couple of brothels, there's
All right.
all the
just
all
hit
the
up
stuff.
your whole itinerary right there: bar, brothel, hotel.
And then back to the first one.
Who needs sleep? I'm a fucking juicer.
I'm actually gonna stay on board the APC if I sleep anywhere, but I'll come in and just scout around.
See if there's anything here that we probably can't pick up anywhere else.
Oh, there's a
Who's
couple
got
of
that?
record
Do
yards.
you have that?
What?
Um,
What are you?
one of your abilities that allows you to find contraband within a certain area. So like
Find contraband.
find contraband. There we go. I thought you had that.
I have it.
Are you the only one that has it on all?
I don't know if I.
Yeah, I don't see here.
I swear someone else had find contraband.
Just for the question about the MD, MDC weapons. Basically, it's, how do you put it? Massive damage capacity. It does 100 times what a typical weapon would do. They're usually extremely powerful energy
I can't read
weapons
it.
and stuff like that.
Walking into the bar naked to start a bar fight. That sounds like the start of a joke.
It's actually the start of a movie. I need your clothes, your boots.
Oh yeah,
Okay, that's a win.
that's definitely a good one.
Leave your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
You forgot to say please.
Please leave. Please leave. You're naked. Please leave. All right. So
Yeah, basically, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, BFG, no doubt.
except for everyone's carrying BFGs.
Yeah. SDC is like what we have nowadays with, you know, regular cement and drywall and lead bullets and shit. MDC is giant mecha.
Particle beam cannons and rail guns.
Yeah, what he said.
Versus like depleted uranium armor.
BFG versus MD-BFG.
So, do you guys keep the night chill, or do you guys
I'm painting the town turquoise.
turquoise?
It's like, he's been peeing that way ever since Vegas.
I would say it burns when I pee, but it's more like napalm, guys. What's wrong?
It hurts everyone else, right?
No, that's 3 to 4 months before you blow up.
No, we don't sell titanium. Depends. You get out of here. It's like, but I'm looking
All right.
and it's on fire.
All right, so you can absolutely, I mean, legitimately, you can do damn near whatever you want if you.
All the drugs.
All the drugs.
You already
all
do
the
all of
drugs.
the drugs.
All the other drugs.
Okay, the other drugs. So he's going on a trip.
Yeah.
But his biocomp will compensate for that to make sure that he doesn't go on too much of a trip. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have some Coke.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden his biocomp just puts out downers, and it's like, oh. Okay, no big deal.
Winnie the Pooh to Eeyore in like 5 seconds. It's
What
like,
are you talking about? I'm bypassing the coke and going straight for the fentanyl.
Creed is probably just going to have a few drinks and then settle down for a quiet night. You can appreciate sleeping in a town where he's not going to have to worry about waking up dead once in a while.
Okay. And you said you're staying in the
APC. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go have some drinks and then I'll actually stay in the APC as well.
Okay.
Creed wants to sleep in a nice, plush, soft bed. We just get a pretty big payday, and he's been sleeping on the cot and or an APC seat for probably the last couple of weeks.
I'm gonna
So
study on the APC.
maybe a shower in there somewhere too would be a bad idea.
Do you guys have? I don't think you guys had a full-on shower.
Oh yeah, we do. Gets up aboard water cannon. Go ahead. I got
Oh, Billy!
Yeah.
Do you know what you just won? You get to drink from the fire hose! Oh shit! How do we get a UFC? UHF and a Terminator reference and a Zombieland reference
Yeah.
all in one episode?
Open
Oh,
the rifts.
You know,
exactly.
it's almost a contest in itself. If you manage to track and list all the movie references given in this entire episode, we'll send you front for sure.
Oh,
Actually, she will stay in her room.
all right.
If I sleep, it'll be on the floor in the bar.
Okay.
Now, is Wichita Falls generally like a den of scum and villainy, or is it like normal to an
Frontier
extent?
town.
It would be like, for anyone who has been nearby a CS town, it would be very similar to one of the, I'll call it mid-age towns. One of the towns that's about 40 to 50 years old, hasn't been nuked by the CS on a regular basis. They've got some CS loyal individuals. Throughout the night, you guys are looked at a little bit kind of funky. I mean, no one really bats too much of an eye at you two.
I'm not out of the APC.
Oh,
Yeah, because you're not even really visible. No one's even looking at you. Juicer, I mean, they accept that juicers are a thing. It's what it is. So no one really gets hairy. It's
We
just
blend pretty well.
well-ish.
Do you see anybody that might be a notable merc group or anybody else like ourselves? Or any other APCs, crews of guys?
It doesn't seem like there's a lot of other merc groups around here. It seems like Braddock's is a big enough merc group to take care of almost everything that's needed. If you guys mentioned about Lou, they do give you guys some nice treatment.
Nice.
The rooms are nice and clean. The food is good. They seem to actually be really, really social and decent with you.
Nice.
So how do you know
What do
Lou?
guys?
Just did a little work for him, the lost and found.
That sort of sounds, there's some sexual in here. Did a few things for Lou in the parking lot I'm not proud of.
Only, hey.
I lost my dignity, but I found some money. And
Yeah.
No, he lost his dignity, but he found the zucchini.
Oh, man.
Oh shit! So fair enough. Anyone who's a friend of Lou's is fine by me.
Tracking the days as long as Lou's all on it. You wax nostalgic, yeah. Try and hide the zucchini with Lou.
So yeah, I mean they don't seem to have any jobs or anything like that here, but the town seems pretty well taken care of. You guys do from every once in a while see what looks to be a small platoon of CS officers, some dead boys, as well as a couple of bizarre mutant humanoid dogs. You guys have seen them before. They are dog boys.
Good thing I stayed in the APC.
Don't worry, we're all gonna sniff funky anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, is there while you're in the bar, do we keep radio communication at all, like our earpieces?
We have comm links and stuff like that that are small, like smaller than a cell phone kind of stuff, and they've got earpieces that go with them, so we can.
Do you guys, like already on, are you hearing anything about anything going on, any recent battles or anything like that outside of like Wichita? Anything in that area?
Just the typical CS stuff, repelling whatever here. There is a rumor that off just about an hour northeast of Wichita Falls, apparently some CS troops tore into it with what looks to be some sort of a 40-foot tall lizard style creature with a number of heads.
Hydra?
Yeah, and it seems like apparently they did some pretty solid damage. They knocked it down a couple of heads, but they had to retreat because things were getting a little bit messy.
So that means that by now those heads have regenerated.
Probably. There might be a bunch of CS equipment on the field, but I don't know if I want to poke a Hydra for it.
Would a Hydra hoard or have anything that would be of value to us?
Probably wouldn't care because you can't eat it.
Right.
Some of them are smart enough to want trophies, though.
Well,
And that would be. Anyone have monster lore?
I do. Yep.
Okay, go ahead and roll monster lore.
Now that is demon and monster lore base 35 plus
Or is
5.
there? Do you have dragon lore possibly?
No.
Okay, so you will just do a basic demon and monster.
Okay, so I got 7.
Double on 7. You do know that Hydras do tend to take the most valuable piece of equipment. They have an innate ability to choose the most valuable piece of equipment from whatever they have killed, whether it be techno-wizardry weapons, whether it be actual mechanical gear. They take it as a trophy of victory. So,
Any rumors?
What is
stuff
it
like
But is it like a single piece from an engagement, or is
No.
it something from everything it killed?
something valuable from everything it has slaughtered. So if it's killed 6 different things, it will try and choose the most valuable piece from each of those to hold as a trophy of each one of those kills.
track it down.
Well, if it took trophies,
But I will be honest, demon and monster lore, with that demon and monster lore roll, what's that?
Or is that what the zucchini count as a trophy? That's fable logic.
You would also realize that a Hydra is probably
more than we can chew for sure.
No.
There's a possibility of some casualty. I mean, if it was a young one,
We got to go in A, prepared, and B, we don't just tackle it head on. There's got to be a way of
I
fucking
mean,
it up.
heads on.
Heads on. Get call.
you also do know that they are also very apt to accept one-on-one challenges immediately with anything who challenges their strength or their
Runs out
ability.
from APC, deposits juicer, runs back.
That being
There
said,
you go.
that being said,
And here's your
it has-
chainsaw.
Yeah.
They have psionics. They don't have any magic. They're a non-magical one,
Okay.
although they are an essence of magic. But they have 6 different breath weapons. Each of their heads will have a different breath weapon.
Now, was this territory within 50 miles of here?
I think it would be about 50 to 60 miles.
Can I use my sense ley line? Yeah, sense rift within 50 miles. Do I pick up any rift of anything?
You don't pick up a rift of any kind.
Okay, just check.
I'll give you a free pass on that one. That's definitely a no.
Okay, no, just checking. So it's possible we could have used it to our advantage.
Use the stick of truth. So, I mean, if this is a hatchling,
yeah,
you guys could probably team up, take it on, take it out. If it's an adult, you'll need some help.
Well, or
Some
just some
serious reason.
smarts. I mean,
Oh, we know a guy who's got a whole bunch of tanks.
ooh, actually, that's not such a bad idea if we borrow some equipment and a few people.
We're
off
talking
of-
borrow or borrow.
Well, if we offer to kick back, say, 20% of the take on this particular
For something like that, if they're going to supply us with gear like that,
40%,
it'll probably have to
50-50.
be a 50-50 split.
I'm still okay with that because if it's, especially if it's an adult, if it's determined to be a juvenile and it won't have that many items to
Well,
pick from.
50% is better than dead.
My biggest thing is because we've got a bunch of long range stuff. If we can catch it out in the open, you go whack, 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 whack from a long range, you just peg the shit out of it.
And who says the guys that we borrow have to make it back?
It'd probably be preferable if they did.
Well,
I
everybody
feel like it
gets
would be a
killed.
sour note to start our business relationship off on, hey, all your guys are dead, but here's some of your stuff back.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, the only way you'd be able to assess whether this is an adult or a juvenile is to physically witness this thing.
Oh, thank
See it in
goodness.
action.
Not even like the size of its gonads. I'm like, I'm not checking this thing out.
No, if that's the case, someone with hiding the zucchini knowledge
We're
would
like
have to
slosh, slosh. Like, I don't know, it feels like a juvenile. Slosh, slosh. Holding up a beanbag chair.
Is it like a speed bag or a heavy bag?
But it is after 10.
Yeah, we're
Oh, it is. It's 10:01.
Yeah, so.
Oh.
So do we want to say we'll figure out a path forward on the highway situation?
I'm still trying to get past the beanbag.
You lying in bed tonight? It's like no.
I'm getting crushed by a giant hydra gonad.
Yeah.
So if I can have everyone who joined in, and
Yeah, we got Celicam, Calicam, and Skeletor 301. And thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
there's an interesting thing in Rifts. It's about giving experience. If you guys can join us again another night, and if you want to join us for a few minutes more tonight while we hand out experience, the nice thing about Rifts is the experience is so much nicer than D&D. It's actually fucking slick.
Points don't matter.
The
Much
points-
that too.
The points do matter.
Actually, in
You
this
know,
experience was the reason you guys ended up with a decent amount of experience lasting on the trails as well, because I've adapted some of what I've been able to
get online from Rifts and one of the other editions into a bit of an experience table that accounts for certain feats and actions.
And I just this is why I love this system more than D&D, because of the thought put into the experience. So, if anyone can think of any time, that's this is
The music, like, settle down, man. You can turn down twice and somehow you're like, no, is it my time now?
Combat Jeff.
I would not call Rifts new.
Oh, she's old, like 80s, but that's okay.
Why don't you show off your book collection for the camera? What part of it you have?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know that I could lift that box up and tilt it sideways without.
Wearing half of it.
Yeah, there's over 70 books.
Just
There's a lot.
Yes, that's 7-0, not 1-7.
And over by a good amount. Oh, there we go. So this is less than half of the books, and there's not a single duplicate in here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There we go.
There you go. That looks like a juicer shotgun for you.
And the best thing is,
Say what?
Juicer shotgun. Why?
There we go.
I love the OCD lineup of dice. Oh yeah.
so if anyone wants a quick rundown of the Rifts experience.
Yep.
So, combat. You get 0 points of experience for fighting that's just to show off, fuck around, or too proud to stand down. If it gets the rest of the group in trouble, or any stupid or selfish reasoning. I love that because, you know what, it's not all about the fight. You get 0.
Oh.
0 experience. If you're just doing it to be a fucking dick.
Like, does it cancel out any experience you have so that you
No.
get 0? You just get.
But if you're fighting a major menace,
Reset.
and you would get 1,000.
Yeah.
If
you
you
lose points.
Yeah, you get 0, and it's great. 25 to 50 for subduing a minor menace. Pretty small points. 75 to 100 for subduing a major. 15 to 400 for killing or subduing a great. And then there are others that basically scale up even higher. Next is other actions. This is where the bulk of the experience comes. Performing the right skill at the right time for the right reason. Doesn't matter whether it's successful or not, 10 to 25 experience, just for using the right skill for the right application. 25 to 50 for a clever but futile idea. 25 to 50 for using good judgment. 25 to 50 for playing in character, even if it would be easier not to. 25 to 100 for a clever, useful, and helpful idea or action. 50 to 100 for avoiding unnecessary violence, using self-restraint, or talking, bluffing, or intimidating
Although, admittedly,
out of trouble.
at this point, admittedly, that is like too high for 5e.
Well, yeah, because 5e uses like 0 to 300 for your first.
Yeah, 5e is actually, I found, really fucked for experience. Like, the way that they do it. And I've actually, like, had to reduce some of the experience gains on
So
creatures.
people aren't getting a fucking level in one
OP
in one
in,
shot.
like, 2 games. It's,
Yeah.
like, crazy.
I've actually seen one where they've gotten almost 6 levels in two
What?
runs. It was just swarmed by things. They did everything. Basically did everything wrong, and drew pretty much everything in the area to us, and we almost died like 6 times.
But then leveled almost 6 times.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is why I go by milestone. You don't get experience. You just hit a plot point, you get a level.
That's what we
Yeah.
started doing.
Yeah. Milestone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can understand the concept of milestone, for sure. Another one for this, for a small act of self-sacrifice or an act of kindness, mercy, or compassion, 50 to 100. 50 to 100 for insightful or helpful or deductive reasoning or observation. 50 to 100 for a daring or heroic action, whether it was clever or not. 75 to 150 for playing in character, playing one's alignment when circumstances or powerful temptation begs otherwise. 100 points for quick thinking or action or idea that is helpful. 1 to 200 for insight or deductive reasoning that plays a huge role or critical plan in saving lives. 200 for a critical plan or action that saves the character's own life and that of multiple comrades. 4 to 1,000 for a critical plan that saves an entire group or many innocent people like a town. 1 to 300 for endangering your own life to save others.
Which is why the juicer goes up so rapidly.
Pretty much.
No, it's because I do keep doing the right thing, but it fails all the
And
time.
500 to 700 for genuine life and death self-sacrifice in a situation where the heroism is very likely or almost certain to cost them their life. Leaping in front of a particle blast.
You said 5,000 to 7,000?
500 to 700,
Which
which is
actually
a
pretty.
lot.
Yeah, it still seems pretty weak comparatively to the other ones. Like I save a whole town, but if I sacrifice myself, I get 700 experience. I don't get to use because I am now dead.
Well, that only counts if you actually survive the situation. If you're dead, you're still just a pile of meat.
Right.
But in certain
Sometimes
situations, like say if he were to basically be nuked,
Yeah.
we can rebuild him. We have the technology kind of situation.
How many references are we going to shove into this one
Yeah.
session?
We got a few more, don't
And I
we?
think we've actually spent 4 decades or 5 decades worth of references
But
too.
like
Exactly.
next, if he were to die, it wouldn't be that big of a stretch to say he's a full conversion cyborg after 2 more sessions.
Yes. As long as he makes it in a coma death roll for you guys to get him to a cyber dock, full conversion board by next episode, and all it's going to set you guys back is about 10 million credits.
Unless we go with one of the scary ones from like Sovietsky.
Oh,
You like rebuild them or go get some beers?
The demon
Let's
claw
go get
board.
some beers.
Oh, God.
30
Too much shit.
million.
Rebuild them.
30 million.
oh,
But he's
but
basically a
that thing's
heavy
fucking
battle
scary.
tank.
Yeah.
I like where this is going.
So,
Oh, it's terrifying. It is I read the whole thing on it. It has 2 large particle beam cannons as shoulder-mounted weapons.
I like the what is it? There's
You
one
and
of
everything
the
behind you.
there's one of the 25-foot tall mechs that has twin fucking chainsaw arms.
That-
Just for the sake of chainsaw arms on a fucking mech.
I won't be scratching any itches soon, that's for sure.
That's one arm. The other one still has claws.
Do you get bonus experience for making a reference?
Yeah.
This game?
We should.
I think, you know what? I think there's definite points for that. We'll say 25 points for every one of those. So,
Shit, that's like 1,000, man.
woohoo!
What did we
Alright.
get for experience?
So let's go over. So dealing with a minor menace. You guys didn't. That being said, you guys did evade a major menace by quickly getting the fuck out of there when it's a very special creature, and I don't want to tip my hat to anyone for what
So
was
when
happening.
something dangerous almost killed us or attacked us.
And you guys survived by getting straight up the fuck out of there.
Okay.
I'm going to say 100 experience each. For
So what you're telling me is if we would have stuck around, that would have killed us. Or at least one of us.
it potentially could have, because it can do mind control. That thing, it's nasty. It's really nasty. I mean, you guys would have needed the water cannon in full power. You guys would have needed you to cast Globe of Daylight all over the fucking place just to keep that thing at bay while you guys blasted at it. And then while it summoned vampire after vampire after vampire.
Oh, so it's one of those ones where it turns from one to a swarm very quickly.
Well, it doesn't. Yeah, it'll call them, and it basically puts a call out, and it's like, here we go, my children.
It's a
Have a meal.
It's a dinner bell.
So, for saving the Glitter Boy pilot, when you guys could have offed him and
I thought about
taken the extra profit,
We
because I
would.
know
We-
there's a
we
lot of alignment in this room that is more than capable of doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think any one of you would have not just. I mean,
Oh,
but you
I
guys
would.
were looking at the potential profit on it. So for that, I am going to say 100 experience points each for not sacking him. I'm going to throw 50 experience points each for getting the Samas or the Samas suit back.
Mhm.
But I'm also going to throw 25 points of experience at you for knowing dodge that ping ball, the radar tracker that they had, just off that thing off into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, just somewhere not like
Mhm.
where the radar contact disappeared. They're going to come directly there.
Yeah, rather than coming directly for Frey's shop, which would have been really shitty. I mean, right now they might just come and investigate Frey's shop. Hey, did you see this? No, there was a buzz by, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Right.
That was it.
But the entire town would have said that because I was rocket propelling and being all loud and shit the whole way through town.
Exactly.
So they would have gotten the same answer from everyone. Yay!
So for the insightful and deductive reasoning on getting rid of the device, I think I was out of the room when you guys were chatting about that.
Those are juicers going.
Okay, so we'll give you another 50 on that. Successful daring or heroic action, whether it was clever or not. I don't think we had any of that really tonight. Didn't have any
No,
opportunity
we're pretty cowardly tonight.
You know
No
what?
daring actions.
I'm just trying to think of the
Given
best way
where
to
we
put it.
were both times, I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, in Rifts, legitimately, there is a lot of fucking stupid places that you don't want to be in.
Well,
There's
everywhere,
opportunities
like, my
among them.
potential to be mouthy is like going off all the time. I'm like, this will probably kill me though, so I might as well shut up.
For skill use, staying on the radar almost all night, I'm going to give you 25 times. You were up for 4 of those, so we'll say 4. The pilot checks, you get 2. Pilot checks, you get 2, so 25 and 25 each. So you, 50 and 50 each, and you get 100. We're using diplomacy with Gerber or Gerber.
Gerbil.
Gerbil.
It's gonna be gerbil. I don't care.
It's durable now.
I'm gonna say 25 points apiece. So go ahead, 25 points apiece for everyone. I'm just trying to think of anything else that fits. Clever but futiles, no. To get
Futile is basically our MO.
25 experience for the juicer for using the skill to get the APC back up and running again. After it tipped on its side when the thing.
I'm just happy I didn't have to dig for hours.
Yeah.
'Cause that would have sucked.
Excuse me.
Quick thinking, deductive reasoning, critical plan or action saves your own life. No. Clever, helpful idea. Points for avoiding necessary violence, self-restraint. Yeah, for the most part, it was a pretty clean and quiet night. I'm also gonna say an extra 50 points apiece for just basic RP. So, what's everyone sitting at for XP right now?
200.
375.
300.
Yeah,
375. 375 in total, or just for tonight?
for tonight.
300
Okay.
for tonight.
I'm
So-
at exactly 1,200 all total.
Okay, so you're gonna be a little bit away from a level.
I'm actually at 1110.
Okay, a little way. Oh yeah, you're 5,000 experience per thing. If you were able to cast some spells, that would have been some.
1385.
Okay, you'll be a ways away still, even though the Merc is going to be a little quicker.
God, who makes the erasers that are those hard kind that just smears your
rock hard
card?
Yeah.
Yes, Skeletor, you did say Samass. It's a
Yes.
flying mech suit, is the best way to put it.
Strategic assault military.
It's basically like a mech suit with wings.
And a giant rocket engine on the back.
Yeah.
Flies around at like 300 and some miles an hour.
Takes no guff
Unless
Although
you're
this
trapped
isn't
in
going
a
to be
cave,
close enough
Butter
from
Boy.
here.
unless you trap it in a cave with a Butter Boy. That is true.
Yeah, it's going to be too far to
You
show.
want to pass it over? I'll
I'll
hold
pass
that.
it over.
That's a Samass.
There
He
we
is
go.
he's a flying mech suit that shoots railgun pieces. It's pretty badass, actually.
And yep.
Hope
Yeah,
that
there is
does
a little
pretty
bit of a delay. Yeah, it's kind of showing it.
Yeah, we'll get a little closer.
It's like in your face.
Well, nobody won the dice tonight either, so
Still
we'll be giving these away on Thursday or Friday.
We didn't have any combat.
Yeah, no, you guys actually, you managed to avoid combat with something that could have very potentially harmed everyone in the group badly. That
Okay,
being
so we're
said-
gonna click off for the night, but yeah, just want to say Skeletor 301, Calicam, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And we have a Thursday night and Friday night Dungeons and Dragons 5e game if you're interested in that. And we'll be looking possibly at getting another weekday 5e game going. Plus, there's episodes of Creator Crucible around, so if you're into tabletop like crafting and stuff like that, we'll be doing that. But we will see you back here for Tripping the Rifts in 2 weeks' time, Tuesday, same time, same place. So we will look forward to seeing you
Come
then.
on, another one.
Another
2
one.
weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks. No,
2 weeks is
from
too
today.
long.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
So, yeah, we'll hope to see everybody.
Go on.
But
And just think, at that point in time, if these guys are suicidal enough, they might just go for 7 different rounds ahead.
Alright. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you next time.
I know one of us is suicidal enough for it.
Oh yeah. I mean, legitimately,